Hey there, welcome to the Drawing Codex. In this video, I want to do a simple drawing lesson covering one thing. How do we draw the figure from different angles? How do we draw it from above, from below, etc.? This is one of the biggest challenges that faces the artist at the outset, and even when you're well into your artistic journey, it can be a real stumbling block. And what I want to do is give you a few really simple exercises and ways to think about this so that you can practice. Now, obviously, this is something that relies on a lot of foundational perspective, and there's a lot of moving parts here, but I think there's a couple of key concepts that you can apply straight away, even if you haven't fully fleshed out your drawing foundation, even if your perspective is not 100%. I think there's a lot of things that you can take away and start practicing to make sure that your figures look as if they're grounded. Anyway, let's jump in and get started. Alright, welcome again to the Drawing Codex. My name's Tim McBurney. I've been a professional working artist for over 20 years, and on this channel we're all about drawing cool stuff from our imagination, embracing the challenge of drawing, and mastering the craft of line and color illustration. If you want to learn more about line and color illustration, you can check out my free quick start guide. It gives you my basic advice for how to get up and running quickly in Photoshop with a line and color style. I go over how to build a simple, reliable process in Photoshop, and I give you my tips for going from thumbnail to the finished image. I also give you all the brushes and all the basic stuff you need to get up and started with the line and color style. This is where we create worlds with simple line and color. So it's not like there's a lack of information on these ideas of how to draw the figure from different angles. The basic idea, as should be pretty obvious, is that we combine the simple idea of taking a mannequin, of taking a stick figure, and then we basically just rotate it in space. The problem is that's easier said than done, and it's hard to know how to approach it. In the same way, you can read Andrew Loomis's book, Figure Drawing for All It's Worth, which is great, and it has a lot of information there. But again, I think the challenge for me when I was figuring out how to do a lot of this is, what do I start with, and how do I actually make that apply not just to the standard human anatomy, but maybe how do we make it apply to more cartoony things as well? I think what I want to do is, again, try those two dual concepts. One is, again, how do we draw the standard mannequin, but also maybe something a lot more cartoony may also help us to understand how this functions, so I can demonstrate that to you. But basically what I want to try and do is give you a simple exercise that you can go away and either follow along with me or take with you and just practice in your sketchbook as you go. Now, this is one of those concepts that I think is really important. And when I was starting out, again, I'd have ideas and they'd often be stifled by the fact that I couldn't draw characters from all sorts of different angles. And it took me a long time to really figure out, how to do that. But I think it's important to note that often when we are drawing things that, you don't always have to draw things from crazy angles. Not everything has to be some ridiculous, amazing angle, where you're drawing stuff from a crazy, sort of action pose where there's a million characters. You can see, right? Like this panel here is a little bit like that. There's tons of characters, they're all fighting. Camera's low. That's important. That's a little bit different to what I want to do. And again, in this exercise, because in order to do that, you kind of have to begin with the basics. You sort of have to really understand the simple way that perspective and boxes and box sort of logic or theory relates to the figure. And this is actually a really good way, just practicing drawing that mannequin and that figure from different angles. It's a really good way to understand the concepts of proportion and structure and just how you actually go about building something that kind of looks solid but is viewed from an angle that is maybe more interesting or exciting. Anyway, I don't want to go on for too long because I think you get the basic idea of where we're going with this. Let's jump over to the drawing table and get started. All right, here we are at the drawing table. Now, as I said, in most cases when you're drawing comics, you are working within a fairly limited framework of poses and things that you need to create, that you need to kind of make real from your imagination or from the script. In most cases, I think what you'll find is that you don't always have to draw a lot of these heavy down angle shots, right? It just doesn't often make sense. When you do, it's really, really important. But if we think about often, if I take the basic idea of creating a Loomis stick figure mannequin, and if you're new to the channel and you're not quite sure what I'm talking about, there's a lot of other videos that I have on the channel talking about the concepts of creating a mannequin and drawing solidly, and I'll link to a few of the basic ones in the description. So check that out if you might get a little bit lost with exactly what I'm talking about here. But the basic idea, as you may know if you've looked at these concepts before, is that we basically just draw a stick figure. Now, you can think about the basic idea here being that maybe you might have a panel where there's a few characters, right, and they're talking. So there's lots of situations where you might want to frame a panel or an illustration or whatever you want to do, right? You might have lots of reasons. So again, I'm just kind of winging this a little bit, not being that technical with it, just for illustrative purposes. All right, but again, you might have some people talking to each other in a panel, and you need to do this kind of down shot. Now, that's useful, but in my experience, most of the time what you want to do is see faces and make sure that the posing is sort of clear. And this is quite a disassociated shot, and you may have a lot of stories and a lot of ideas that involve this basic concept of, hey, we're looking down at a scene. All right, again, there might be more characters over here. Right, again, just roughly transferring, right, some of those ideas. Oh, that one's getting a little bit out of whack. But again, there might be a whole crowd full of people, right? And now, if you don't know what you're doing, this type of scene is just an absolute unmitigated nightmare to execute on. So it is really, really important to kind of understand your basic perspective and all of that stuff. It'll really, really make your life a lot easier, and it'll make these kind of things a lot more fun. In most cases, though, I do want to point out, because I think it is super important to remember that in most cases, we're just dealing with minor variations, with minor tilts. So, and this is just my experience, but again, this is just practical advice if you're thinking about this. Often this is the thing that terrifies me, right? I wake up in a cold sweat as a young artist, sort of thinking about, please don't make me draw this kind of scene because it's just too hard. But what I found in most cases is that, there's a couple of things, right? You can see this scene is a little bit like that. We've got a few characters kind of from above. But the idea of having to draw extensive scenes where, there's all these sort of dynamic angles, maybe in superhero comics there might be a little bit more of that. But in most cases we're dealing with looking at faces and fairly simple shots, which is very, very similar to what you would look at in a film. We're often choosing shots for clarity so we can read the character's face. Again, in comics or similarly in an illustration, you kind of want to see the character's face. You want to see them fairly straight on. And I think in most cases, this sort of thing is not actually what you spend most of your time doing. And certainly if you're doing illustrations, primarily often what we're talking about from a compositional standpoint is, it's frequently involving characters who are pretty front on. If you deal with your classic sort of pin-up character, right, it basically is some form of this. Now, it might involve a lot of twisting of the figure, but not a lot of this need to make it grounded. and draw it from different angles. But I feel like this idea of just learning how do we draw the figure like this, and then how do we do the opposite of that, which is draw it from below, right? Go here, same stick figure idea, boom, boom. Right, got a head there, right? And then we're going to have arm here, right? Something like this. And again, you can continue the basic concept as you go, right? If we want to do that from the back, very, very simple, right? We just sort of flip the character around, right? And then we're drawing this. So I'm just going to be putting in rough perspective to illustrate what I need, and this is typically what I would do for myself. And I'm just illustrating the different options here. So we will get to some actual exercises, and I'll talk specifically about what I'm doing and how you can pull some concepts from books like the Loomis books or other sort of how to draw books, and sort of actually try and get your head around this basic concept. But again, you know, we do it from the back. It's the same thing. Right. So here the face is like this. Right here it's from the back. And the difference really is just what does that arc of the spine look like, and how do these limbs tend to bend, right, as a very sort of rough basic idea. So again, these are a little bit from above and, you know, below. These ones are a little bit more. The basic concept is the same. Again, the reason that you would have you know, some need to draw like a really kind of worm's eye view of something like this, I don't know why you would need to do that, but say you did. Again, it's going to be a very similar concept, right? Feet are going to be on the ground, shoulders are going to be somewhere here, right? Head is going to be up there. We're going to have some arms here. Right. So again, sorry that guys got a little bit squished, but again, it's the same idea. It's just a matter of how much exaggeration is there on this perspective grid, if that makes sense. Let's see if we can do better on that head. All right. See if we can find the form of that torso a little bit. Head goes there. Yeah, might look, that's a little bit better. But it's all the same idea. What we're doing is we're taking the basic concept of a skeleton or a mannequin or a stick figure, and we're just drawing it from different angles. As I said, the problem is that's its own challenge, and that really is what I want to talk about in this lesson and show you is how do we combine the concepts of box logic or drawing simple geoforms, which again is very, very much linked to this, and how do we find some exercises and things you can do so you can jump in and start practicing this. All right, so if we look at the pages that you might find in a traditional drawing book that are going to be related to this concept, it's often at the beginning, and it's where we link up concepts of perspective. So you can see here some great illustrations of how the concepts of proportion and perspective and just lining things up are going to work in 3 dimensions. So this is really what we're dealing with, is the idea that if we understand the basic proportions of the mannequin, which you can find in some of the additional videos I've got that I'll link below so you can check those out. But again, I'll go over them super quickly in this video so you can just jump in if you need. And then it's just simply a matter of understanding how perspective works. A lot of it does involve this simple concept of thinking of a plane and how we derive some simple proportion from that plane. Alright, so the task is pretty simple. What we need to do and what is good to practice is just practice drawing space or a line that your character is going to occupy. And what we want to do is find these proportional markers. The one that I think is the most important to find and the one that you can practice finding is the halfway mark. And that essentially is going to divide the character around about the bottom of the pelvis or at the crotch area. This will also line up with the base of the hand. And this is a really, really important marker because, again, it basically divides the legs from the top of the figure. And this really is one of the major things that you're trying to do. So what you can practice doing is drawing that character in 2 dimensions. And then you can practice drawing them in 3 dimensions. Now, once you get a feel for the proportional division, it's a lot easier to add dimension. So if we, and again, I'm just going to be fairly rough with this, so apologies if some of these lines don't match up. I won't do this with a ruler because it's a little bit easier to just kind of see when we're doing it by hand, but some of these lines might not match up. The more accurate you can be with this, the better, and I'd say if you study your basic perspective with a ruler, it'll really help you to make sure you're not making errors based on simple errors of the hand, let's say. But either way, it's important to understand how accurate you need to be with these lines. So even if you're not using a ruler, you have to understand how likely are you to gauge proportion in 2 dimensions. If you're having trouble doing it in 2 dimensions, then it's very tricky for you to just magically turn that into 3 dimensions. So just remember that. The first thing we're going to do is just figure out how do we draw that character in 2 dimensions, and we're going to divide the mannequin up into 1 proportion and 2 proportions. As I said, basically dividing the character at halfway and that sort of crotch area, right? So we've got something like this. Now, as I said, I've got more videos that talk about this in detail. But this should illustrate the basic point. So what we need to find is these set of proportions. We got 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at the top. And we use these to define essentially where the head is going to go up top, where the top of the shoulders are going to go, and where the sort of normally this line is a really good line for where the breasts or the nipples are going to sort of go, again halfway up the arm. And this bottom of this 3rd marker is where you're going to have your navel and the bottom of the elbow. Down below, we're going to again divide this 2nd proportion in half, and we've got 1, 2. The top is going to be the top of the legs, and the 2nd one is the bottom of the legs. We've got some feet down here. We then know that the hand is probably going to come a little bit above the knee, normally 1 hand length above the knee, somewhere again around there. And that's the simple 2-dimensional proportion. Again, what we're doing is just making a stick figure out of this concept here. So this is where just, potentially copying these things or studying these or having some, you print out a version of this on your, computer or something like that, print it out, stick it up on the wall. It really helps to kind of make sure this stuff is fully imprinted into your memory. So it's important here that we find this halfway point. This division is really, really going to help. And again, you can fully study the figure, you can fully study all of these, but this is really the first exercise that I think you should apply. And this is the primary exercise that I think will really, really help you to just understand how to draw the figure from different angles. So in this case, if we transfer that proportion right? So I'm sort of drawing it as a plane here, but this is just roughly to kind of illustrate things. Now I can guesstimate roughly where halfway up there is, but this is what we're dealing with when, all right, we can divide that up. All right, we can divide that up. This is where thinking about those proportions in 2D will help us in 3D. So you can see that if I find the midpoint, then it's very easy for me to roughly guesstimate where these other 1, 2, 3, 4 proportions are going to be. In the same way, it's going to be a lot easier for me to now guesstimate where these feet and legs are going to be. That is the baseline. And if we think about essentially repeating this concept again and again, it's just a matter of getting to a point where you line all of these things up. Now, obviously, this changes as you pose the figure differently, as you move things around, as the character moves. But if you're thinking about how to get your head around this in the beginning, this is where you start. And I think that can be one of the biggest challenges with this overall exercise, is just understanding what is actually going to teach you how to get better at this. It often is this simpler exercise where you're just thinking about, okay, let's make sure I can control proportion as I just adjust the figure and draw it from a slightly different angle, right? So if we take a simple, got a little sort of toy here that'll sort of help us understand this, just start by rotating the figure a little bit, right? Just start by trying to draw it from a little bit of an angle there, and then maybe you can draw it from an angle that's slightly below, and then you can maybe try draw it from behind, etc., etc. Just ratchet up the complexity a little bit by bit. That's one of the things that will really, really help you. This is where it all happens, at that halfway point. So what you can do is just practice the idea of how do you divide up that space. So what we're doing is essentially taking the fundamental principle of perspective here, that is the one you take away. And that is that we can apply whatever is possible with two-dimensional geometry to three-dimensional perspective, as long as we have a good idea where the vanishing points are and where the essential grid is. All right, so we've got a grid, boom, boom. So I can do the same thing here because these corners don't move in two-dimensional space, and I can draw a line between them, and then I know how to divide up that space. So this is the fundamental concept of perspective that will help you to initially gauge that proportion. So we can think about this, right? If we have like a lot of extreme exaggeration, we still can find halfway up. And it's this experimentation with this basic concept that will teach you a lot about how to change the camera angle. Now, behind this is the concept of the perspective grid, which I think is its own challenge. And this is where what we can try and do is understand the basic takeaways that we're going to get from perspective as it relates to the figure. But if you have to understand that there's a point at which you need to go away and learn perspective properly if you want to really, really get stuck into this. But the fundamental thing that will help you understand it is the box logic, or just viewing the box that surrounds your space. you've probably seen a lot of people talk about this, and there's a lot of discussion about this as being important for your drawing, to understand the grids and the simple idea of three-dimensional space. So this is like a perspective grid. It's a sense that all these lines are heading towards a vanishing point. And again, I'm just being very rough. Now, what we're trying to do here is increase our ability to visualize three-dimensional space around the character. And that's really all you have to do. What you have to do is imagine that as you rotate the cube, the figure rotates. As you rotate the figure, the cube rotates. And don't worry too much about the rest of perspective. Again, the more you can understand about it, the better. But at the outset, what we have to think about is just this simple concept of where these lines might be, and just make sure that as we line things up, things like our feet, things like our shoulders are lining up with each other. Now, again, that will change as the hands move, right? As the hand moves up, as we pose the character, obviously all of that changes. It's really important to start and again get your understanding of the initial perspective right, though, because it's very easy to move things around once you get the character feeling as if they're solid. So the first part of the exercise is, as I said, just study and get good at dividing up space with different grids. I actually have a whole video on this basic concept that is talking about how you draw straight lines. And one of the reasons I use a grid as a good way for you to understand how to draw straight lines is because often the reason we're drawing straight lines is to draw a grid. So the concept of physically being able to draw grids is super important. But what you do here with the figure is just draw some different grids and then try and figure out where the halfway point is. Again, that's not a very good one. Keep going, keep experimenting. Etc., etc. We can think about, again, that idea of drawing a character where we're at a worm's eye view or bird's eye view, whatever it is. The most important thing initially is really basic. Just get that initial halfway point there. Once you do that, everything else becomes easy. Now, how do we sort of connect up the figure with this? Because I'm sure a lot of people are at this point sort of tuning out because this seems boring. And I think that is one of the biggest challenges, is understanding how this relates to what you want to do and why is it important. Well, obviously, once we get this right, we can then start to apply it to everything else. If we don't get this right, everything else is kind of a waste of time. All right, so how do we actually apply that? What I want to do mostly is talk about how that is applied and show it to you and give you a few little tools so that you can copy along, maybe try this with some of your characters or start to think about it. The goal here is that the more we can connect up figures and characters and interesting things with the topics of perspective, the more you're likely to get really interested in perspective and improving your perspective. If you can directly translate and apply the concepts that you might learn by studying 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective, etc., at improving your technical drawing, then you can directly say, hey, now that I know that I've got this a little bit more accurate, that means the lines that I'm going to use to line up my character are going to be more accurate. I think that is the goal here. It's really easy doing drawing lessons to get lost in the weeds about perspective and form drawing and the concepts of boxes. So what I'm going to try and do is, again, just show you a little bit more how I do this so that hopefully you can get interested in learning the perspective if that's something that is lacking. And we can do some more basic perspective lessons on the channel as well. Let me know what you'd like to see. So the way that I start by this and the way that I would apply the concept of those Loomis books to drawing and drawing the mannequin is as follows. Let's start by drawing a character from above, as I was doing before. The most important thing that I think we can start with is just the center line. The center line is the thing that really helps us to anchor the figure. And this is similar to this center line here that is holding up the skeleton figure. This is an imaginary line running directly down the center of the body. And we can kind of really use this to figure out where that character is situated. So here we can, let's define some fairly sort of benign perspective here. This is all I'm using. So you can see this is actually similar to a box, right? If we think about a box being like this, what I'm drawing is this. Right, so I'm drawing the center of the box. You can imagine if there was a line there and a line there and then a line directly down the middle. That's kind of what I'm thinking about here. Where is the perspective? But I'm not drawing a box because in my experience, trying to fit a character in a box is not actually a good way to start. But in this case, that can be useful. Now, what I'm going to do is guesstimate the halfway point up here from here to here. And this is something where, again, if you're having trouble drawing a line, right, again, thinking about where the perspective for that might be, and then trying to sort of guesstimate where halfway up is. If that's something that's troubling you, again, the more you learn about perspective, the better your ability to guesstimate that will be. If you're struggling, one of the things you can do is, again, formalize your drawing of these sort of elements and use those two-dimensional drawing tricks that we transfer to 3 dimensions, right? And see if you can find, bang, the center of that. So again, if I was to do that formally here, right, I'm just going to imagine that there is some sort of grid here that makes sense, right? So both these lines are going to some vanishing point, and I've got a line here. Boom. I'm going to try and guesstimate that's kind of down there straight, right? Boom. And then we can do the same thing here. So this is really the one that is super important to get right. Oh, I don't have a big enough ruler. Let's see if I can. I'll sort of see if I can guesstimate it kind of there. I think it's somewhere. Look, it's. Don't do that at home, people. Get a longer ruler. But I think this is going to be. It's pretty close. It's somewhere around there. So that is pretty close. Again, my guesstimation. And if we were to look at the vertical distance here, right, that's kind of 19. Half of 19 is somewhere around here, 9.5. So it's actually sort of like pretty much visually and measurement wise exactly the same. Now that's going to change depending on how much extreme perspective you get. But what I would do if you're thinking about drawing characters from above and different angles is just start with something basic like this. If you start to get to the point where you're thinking, oh, drawing characters from above equals really, really distorted grids. So it's not just that we're drawing the character from above, right? It's that we're drawing these kind of really extreme perspective shots. What you're doing is getting two concepts mixed up, in my opinion. One is the concept of the camera angle and how much distortion there is and how much exaggeration in the grid there is, from the concepts of lining things up and thinking about where the camera actually might be in relation to the figure. It's a lot easier to start with very low distortion. Again, it's very easy here to jump into a whole another subject of camera lenses, etc., etc., etc. The point is that you can draw a character, again, like a small character that's like fairly far away. There's not going to be heaps and heaps of distortion on this figure because, again, they're fairly small in relation to the camera. With a much larger figure, right, that gets really close to the camera, right, we can sort of take this really close to the camera. Sorry, it's going to get blurry, but you see the closer to the camera we get, the more distortion you get, right? So again, sorry it's blurry, but you get the basic idea. The camera angle is relating to what we're dealing with here in terms of extreme perspective. Now, that's something where the more of this extreme perspective you do, the better you'll be able to relate this to this. But when you're learning, stick with this. Just make it a very simple grid where you don't have a lot of distortion. Once you've done that, you can ratchet up the complexity. Super, super important. And again, if you're struggling with some of these concepts, as I said before, go check out some more fundamental perspective exercises. A lot of those you can actually see and study within those Loomis books. And again, I will make some more in the future on the channel. So the basic concept here is, again, we've got these proportional markers, and I'm just going to guesstimate, right, some lines going along here, right, and we can also visualize some sort of lines going here that might sort of help us. And then we've also got, we're sort of halfway up here. Yeah, maybe let's sort of guesstimate that, try and draw a line. And what we're doing is adding just a very, very simple modification of our sort of initial Loomis proportion and sort of drawing, where we learn to draw the mannequin like this. I've got a head here, neck here, right, shoulders here, etc. So we're drawing the mannequin like this. What we're doing is we're taking these lines which don't have a lot of distortion on them, and we're just making sure that we draw them from different angles. That really is all that's going on. Just because you don't have extreme distortion in your perspective doesn't mean it isn't in perspective. That really is just related to the lens and where we're seeing characters from. Again, if you think about going back to that sketch I had before where it had a bunch of little characters on the ground, normally that's going to be taken with a camera lens that's quite far away, taking a big sort of scenic shot from afar, and you're not actually going to have a lot of this distortion. This type of distortion is going to be much more prevalent when you've got the object really, really close to the camera, and there's going to be a lot more distortion there. So just keep that in mind. Now, this is still perspective, even though it's not ridiculously distorted. What we're trying to do is get used to lining up the character and drawing them from above and below. So here we're just going to do above, and hopefully I'll do a quick one below, and then we'll do a quick little sort of more cartoony character to show you how you apply the same basic concepts to something with a little bit more different proportional set. A little bit more of a different proportional set. So again, the reason I feel like focusing on the center line is important is that really is literally at the core of what we are trying to do. So I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and here I've got, right, I've got my 1, right, 2. So what I know is that here, right, I'm going to have my sort of pelvic probably a little bit higher, right? We're going to have the pelvic bit here, and this All right, rib cage is actually gonna come down here. So really good to get used to drawing these forms out in 3 dimensions. And this really is the skill that's probably more important and is going to help you. The grid helps us line up these points. So here I'm going to have, all right, we've got the spine coming there. All right, we're going to have spine coming up there, and it's going to go into the head, just somewhere around here. Boom, boom, boom. Drop a line down there. Let's sharpen this pencil. All right, so we've got our head here. The lines will help us find these elements like the shoulder blades, right? They're going to help us find the shoulders from side to side. They're going to allow us to line up, again, the concept of where the hip bones are going to be. But you can see that having this concept of the center line is something that's really easy to keep us honest, because we can trace the spine, we can trace the which goes directly up the figure, and we can use that to help us find these different elements, and that, you know, just immediately will get us a lot closer to having something that feels symmetrical. And again, what we're after now is we've got this grid this way, right? We sort of have a grid this way. We don't really need it for a lot of things. But this is where, again, you can line things up and try and imagine where we have symmetry. Now, if you wanted to get more technical with the symmetry, you could try and do more technical perspective work to mirror. Again, I'm just going to eyeball. And what I would suggest is you just keep trying to eyeball it until you get sick of eyeballing it, and then go and learn how to measure it. Go and learn how to do it technically in perspective, and it'll hopefully be a lot more interesting then, because then once you learn it, you can come back to this and you know that you'll be more accurate. As I keep saying, I feel like that's so important. It's important to fail here. It's important to try to eyeball. It's not a matter of like get to a point where you're a 10 out of 10 at technical perspective, and then you can start eyeballing. No, you know, you are always guessing. You're always drawing cool stuff. Again, that's my primary recommendation, is draw cool stuff and, you know, figure out what you need to learn from drawing that interesting stuff, and do a little bit of this type of more academic study where we try and apply these things, and then, you know, go apply it to your cool stuff, and then you go back and forward and back and forward and back and forth. That really is the sort of magical answer as far as I'm concerned. That's really what sort of worked for me, and that's what I find typically works with students, is when they're constantly combining those two things. So what that means is sometimes you jump in and try and guess, and you fail, and you can redraw, and you can sketch around and try and draw something interesting. Draw something fun, you know, try and, if you want to draw mechs, you know, try and draw some mechs from different angles. If you want to draw, you know, fantasy stuff or aliens, you know, draw some alien characters from different angles, etc., etc. Now, I've talked a lot about in other videos as well how to add the musculature on top of the mannequin. So for this demo, we'll just deal with mannequins, right? Because the process is almost identical. It's just a matter of thinking about, again, how the muscles kind of wrap around and look from different angles. But the trick here is, how do we figure out where these points of proportion are? So again, I've got this bottom of this third. Proportion is often where I'm going to have my elbow. And here, again, I'm going to find that I'm going to have a combination of, I've got the bottom of the pelvis here, and the hand, right, is going to stop, right, hand is sort of going to start just below there. elbow. Right, hand is gonna, and this is where again, what you'll tend to find is your intuition will be challenged. So the feeling of like, wait a minute, how long is this forearm? Well, I know from a proportional standpoint, right, if we look at this, that again, I've got that bottom of that rib cage. Just look at this and check. Because again, this is a major thing that will come up. I've got the bottom of the rib cage. All right, it's going to line up with that elbow. Now, it's very easy to figure out the depth and the length of these things when you're just drawing it flat on, but it's very easy to become challenged and accidentally draw stuff too long or too small or whatever. Just kind of, you just get tripped up and you're no longer able to engage your normal natural drawing intuition. So it's important here to double check and remember your proportions. We can see again at the bottom of the pelvis there, that's kind of where the hands start, and the hands then go down, and they're kind of, you know, ending about halfway up this bone, or about, as I often say, one hand length above the knee, or certainly the hinge point of the leg. So that is one of these things that's kind of quite tricky from a proportional standpoint to really get. All right, is understanding where these lines are likely to go. Right, so then we're going to have a line about there. Right, we're going to have a hand. If the hand was sort of extended, it would be about here. Right, if it was in a fist, it would probably be here. And here we've got the knee. Here we've got this. Now, this, I think, is often the biggest problem when it comes to drawing these things from different angles, is making sure that they connect with the ground. And more important, and probably the subject of a different video, is how do you do, as I was doing in that other sketch, multiple characters from the same angle and make sure they all feel like they're sitting on the ground plane. Again, this is where having a good sense of that center line will really help. If we know where that center line is, you can easily understand that the feet, you know, if they're just sort of planted normally, which is what I'd recommend initially to give them just a standard sort of pose, is they're going to be equidistant more or less in a standard pose from that center line. Now, again, the subject of another video is kind of how we modify the posture and get different feelings there. But just understanding where that center line is in space, and then just sort of placing the heels of the feet somewhere so that there's an equal distance from here to here is super helpful. And then what I'm doing is basically just thinking about where these lines are going out at different angles. So you can think about that from a two-dimensional standpoint. If I'm looking down, right, here's this line on the ground, here's the center line, here's this foot here, and here's this foot here. And what I'm doing is I'm saying, well, the feet are kind of turned outward, a little bit like they are here. I'm doing it a little bit more exaggerated to make the point. But again, just visualizing the space, understanding the center, being able to measure, right? Again, it's the same thing. Visualizing the center line, measuring that space or guesstimating that space. Again, visualizing that center, understanding the points, right? So if we reattach our poor little skeleton's arm, again, this is the visualization we're trying to practice, is where's the center, where is the wrist sort of point, and where's the other wrist point, and just visualizing the distance. Having that center line there is super important, right? So this is what we're sort of trying to visualize. Points here, points here, points here. And really it is that simple. It's just a matter of staying true to the proportion, understanding how important the proportion is, understanding how important finding that middle section is. And what I'd say is not getting too lost in the perspective, just understanding that what we need is almost just parallel lines, right? Almost all I need to know is that, right, this line is kind of at like a similar angle to this one. It doesn't even need to be too much in perspective. I don't really even need these to be going to the same vanishing point. I just need them to kind of be almost in an isometric perspective to practice this. Again, once you start getting this and you're able to place these things accurately, I think that's when you'll be able to experiment a little bit more and take it to the next level. All right, let's try from below, because I think, again, what that will do is help us to just reiterate, do the same thing again, but we'll deal with a much more extreme angle. So we'll have a basic angle there, right? But a little bit of, let's put a little bit of an angle here. All right, so maybe the horizon line is super low down, right? Here we've got our horizon line. And again, what I'm after is a sense of where that center is. So I'm just gonna, now, again, there's a procedural sort of thing here, which is obviously, you know, I could draw a big box here, right? So I'm trying to find halfway here. It doesn't really matter how big this box is. That's not really the point. All I need to do, you can sort of draw any old size box. Again, I'm going to run out of ruler. Let me find a bigger one. This will solve that problem. So you can see here that it's going to find center right over here, but that does give me a really good indication of where that's going to be, because all I'm going to try and do now is sort of draw, if we sort of try and understand what's happening from a visualization standpoint, right? I've drawn this, right? And what I'm trying to visualize is where this one is going to go. Now, it's not going to go there, right? I don't want to draw it that way because that doesn't look like it's going to the same vanishing point. I want to draw it so that it feels like it's going to the same bump, same vanishing point over there, right? That's kind of what I want, right? And I want my horizon line to be somewhere there. That's kind of what I'm doing. Now, the line can be over here. It doesn't matter. What I'm after is where is halfway up this measurement, right? So if there was a line here or a line here, if I find the center between this line and this line, it will give me halfway up all of these lines. Hopefully that makes sense. Again, if not, it's a good example of how learning some more perspective may help. So here again, what I'm doing is, this is the bit that will derail you if we get it wrong. What I'm trying to do is figure out where I place this line. Now there's a really easy trick that you can use, and that is to just measure. This is another sort of easy sort of way you can do this to kind of help you guesstimate. What I can do is physically measure. Right here I've got, right, sort of roughly, that's roughly 20, so 10 is going to be halfway up here. And if we sort of take a measurement here, that's 16 and a half, so 8 and a bit, right? It's going to be somewhere around there. So if I kind of draw a line between these somewhere around here, right? Again, those things don't all line up perfectly. That's going to give me a pretty good indication of where halfway up is. Or you can just guess. Totally up to you. This is a really good way where you can start to apply these boring perspective concepts to your drawing, get a better result, get a better guesstimate, and make sure, again, you're doing that thing, building that muscle of applying the technical knowledge to something that's actually going to help you. The other thing you can do is you can try guessing first, and then you can do all of the things and see how far you get. You can see I kind of guessed about there, and it was a little bit down there. The point is that we want to get a feeling for where halfway up this figure is if we then start drawing the rest of these lines. Because obviously what I'm going to do now is divide up this top thing into 4 sections, and I'm going to divide this into half. And I'm just guesstimating at that point. Why? Because this is pretty accurate. And what you'll find generally with a lot of perspective is once you kind of key into it, once you kind of understand, like, oh, I get what's happening here. I've got a solid indication. I know these are true. Then it's a lot easier for your brain to kind of guess the rest, if that makes sense. You kind of have the framework and the rest kind of fall into place. So again, I've got some of these lines going here. I'm not drawing them that accurately, but it is the same idea. We're going to have, what I'll do and what I suggest to do is kind of just rough it in first, right? I'm going to have here sort of pelvic stuff here. There's going to be a rib cage thingy here. Again, they're going to sort of line up a little bit. Again, you know, the side of the rib cage will kind of line up with the pelvis. You kind of have that. Boom. Right. It helps me anyway to sort of visualize the spaces a little bit, right? Take those sort of jelly bean, take those, where's a good place to draw here? Take the jelly beans, right, and add dimensionality. Right, just think about, like, where is the three-dimensional space there? Let's draw through, right? Let's try and define that space. I'm going to have a spine that goes up like that. It's going to come back behind, right, from the spine, comes back, sort of curves in. Oh, sorry, let's get that closer. Curves in on the small of the back, goes out, and then comes in. That's that sort of arc that I'm trying to visualize. So it's there, comes back up here, right, and then it's going to insert in the back of the skull there, right, and then I can draw the skull, right, I know, right, can define dimensionality within that sphere, etc., etc. And here I've got, again, some shoulders. Right, going to place those shoulders. Again, visualizing. Right, got sort of a neck here. Again, I feel like those shoulders could be a little bit, again, a little bit more on that line. Now, you can either rough in or guesstimate, make things a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. If you run into trouble there or consistently run into trouble, again, one of the things that I'm facing is, as I often see with these drawing demos, I'm looking at this paper from a little bit of an angle. I'm also meant to be looking up at it from the drawing, so it's going to be hard for me to gauge how big that head actually needs to be. But when I rough it in, again, the things that will help me to visualize that are, again, thinking about where that center line is, right? So it's almost like we're sort of, you know, got the sphere, right? We're sort of chopping half of it off, and then we got this, right? And there'll be like eyes here. So I'm sort of trying to think about where that is under there. That will sort of help. And again, this is just construction drawing. So you know, if you're practicing these things, go crazy with it. Draw the lines, make it messy. It's you know, it's really worthwhile going pretty rough, you know, as rough as you need. But again, you know, might need to make that head a little bit bigger or smaller. Again, don't feel like when you're doing these exercises that you need to get the ruler out for everything. Part of this is training your intuition and your ability to just kind of wing it and see how you go. So don't freak out if, you know, you're like, oh, I need to make the head a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. If it's really important and it's a really, really highly detailed illustration, then, you know, you might measure it out a little bit more. But most of the time with the mannequin, what we're after is lining things up. The things that will make the drawing really sort of awful are if, you know, the arms aren't lined up properly. You know, if the eyes don't sort of line up, right? If I don't, you know, if one eye's, you know, up here and the other eye's down there or something silly. Those are the things that are going to make the difference. It's easy to kind of make the head overall a little bit bigger, overall a little bit smaller. Make sure it fits the character you want. If you're drawing a manga character, obviously a head might be a little bit bigger. Eyes are going to be a little bit bigger, right? Might be some sort of crazy hair or something like that on the figure. Who knows? Again, most of this is just get stuff in the right spot and then know the grid that you've got to line everything up on. But the good thing about proportion this way is that, you know, I don't even have to start drawing the legs because I sort of know where they're going to go. Right? I have a good understanding and a good ability to guesstimate you know, where that line is, so I kind of know where those legs are going to go. Right? I've got a pretty good indication. Again, that's the heel of the foot. This is the ball of the foot. So we can't see it. This one's foreshortened, right? Coming at us. Again, that's, you know, its own little drawing problem that can be quite challenging to solve. But at its core is just, you know, going through things logically and kind of thinking about what you see when you're looking at a foot from front on. But as I said, I can either draw the legs or I could draw the hands because I know where everything is going to end up. We know what's going to happen. Now, I think probably, again, that's kind of where the bottom of that rib cage is meant to go. Right, so the bottom of the rib cage is meant to be probably a little bit lower. Right, navel is sort of going to be about there, and that means probably I've drawn these shoulders a little bit narrow, based on sort of, I think we're drawing sort of like a male figure. Right, so just going to sort of guesstimate where that is going to go, and we're going to line it up. And again, doing those things is totally fine. A lot of it is just recognizing the proportion. You know, you go through it, and then just, you know, I realize, oh, that's right, you know, that torso, right, sort of comes down and you know, hits the bottom of that proportion, right? So we sort of got 1 proportion, 2 proportion, 3 proportions, 4 proportions. And here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. So I just drew this a little bit small initially. Again, not a problem because we can go in and adjust it. And that probably means visually this head is going to want to look a little bit bigger. But that's all we need to do. I know that the shoulders are going to be there. Again, I know that the forearms are sort of going to be about there, and as I said, we probably draw the shoulders a little bit lower. Shoulder there, shoulder there. So as I said, it's totally fine to experiment, to push and, you know, play with these things, make the shoulders a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. The goal is for you to understand what's happening, be able to troubleshoot. If you make a mistake like I did there, then, you know, you sort of know how to fix it. And mostly that you're just lining things up. So just remember, we're trying to line things up. Got the elbows are lined up, the hands lined up, the knees lined up, etc., etc., etc. I'm finding center, right? Center of that, right? Shoulders, boom, 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 etc. So again, same basic idea, very simple to apply. Practicing it can be a challenge, right? You've got to keep trying, you've got to keep playing with these things. It's very easy to make one mistake, as I said, you know, oh, this proportion's wrong. And the trick there is just fix it. Play around with fixing it. Fixing it is just as important as getting it right in the beginning. All right, we'll do one more little demo where we talk about a more sort of cartoony character, and we'll apply the basic same concepts there. Again, just to reiterate and sort of talk about how you can apply these perspective things to anything. All right, so same idea, but let's draw a little character that maybe has some different anatomical things, but we'll apply the same basic concept. We'll draw it from above. So again, what I'm doing is sort of setting a grid that way, and then I'm drawing some kind of line to help me figure out what's happening with the character. But in this case, mostly what I'm going to do is just discuss how we can use the concepts of form drawing to experiment. So here I'm going to have some sort of those hip bones, but in this case, let's draw something that maybe is a bit more like a dragon or some little character who is a little bit more cartoony. So dragon sort of creature. Right, in this case, I'm going to draw, think about where that's where the center is. I've got, right, we're lining things up. What I'm going to do is line up, that's where the knees are lined up, and then I'm going to draw one of these sort of animalistic legs. Right, so let's transfer that over. Here I've got, again, from side to side. Right, there's the center. Right, we've got this here. Got that there. We're just drawing points in space. Here I've got my pelvis. Let's see if we can find that. This is tricky because we got a lot of foreshortening here. Right, and then I've got this over here. Where's it hit the ground? Hits the ground kind of over here. So really what we have to think about is what is the line of, where does that hit the ground? Right, and how do I get that leg to sit there, right? So again, if we were to look at this from above, if I draw this line from here, right, here we've got sort of the pelvis, and what we're doing is drawing legs out, bump, out here, and then it goes back, but that is kind of underneath. Right, so we're finding that point of this, look at it from the side, it's going dunk, 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 and we're finding these points, and then it goes down, and we don't really see that, right, and then it comes out, right, and we sort of barely see that. So this is where, again, some of that perspective will come in handy. So now I'm going to draw our rib cage, and I think this is going to attach a little bit forward, so I still want to think about where that center line is going to be, but I'm going to transfer that over there, and so now what we're trying to do is find, again, like we'll have an arm here and an arm here, and we've got the spine wrapping around here. All right, we'll have a head, bump, bump, and let's put some arms down here. So I'm just going to transfer that arm right over here. Let's have some big chunky hands. Right, so we've got mannequin like this. Hopefully you guys can see this, and then we'll go, let's extend out. Right. Again, this is not a great design, mostly just because it's good to see all of these things working. Right, so we have a neck here, then we're going to have a tail. Now we find the tail by finding the point on the ground. Right, let's trace from there. We can think about what's happening here if we think about the side. Right, got pelvic bones, and then this is coming up here, right, curving around, boom. And at the front there we've sort of got the shoulders, and then this is continuing forward. Right, we've got some sort of there. And what's happening is this is the ground, and what I want is the tail to come down here. Right? Although in this case it looks like it's coming a little bit more like that. So hopefully you can see how, again, we can practice, and again, hopefully you can see how that is going to turn into some sort of fantasy character that might look interesting. Again, just to sort of nail home the point, if we can sort of erase some of that out, and maybe, you know, put some extra sort of musculature on it so that you can see. Right, if we have some sort of arms like this. Right, leg. And here we'd have, again, some sort of toes. So yeah, again, hopefully you see that we could build that up if we wanted. And to me, you know, this is the sort of stuff that I was, you know, more interested in doing as, you know, characters that weren't, you know, typical humans. But the point is that just practicing these things, stepping through the basics, doing your simple division of space will really help. If you can do this right, if you can practice this and just keep going, you know, break out the ruler if you need to do it. If you're finding things are going wonky, as I said, go back, check your fundamental perspective knowledge, make sure that you're being accurate. A lot of the time, you know, these things are sort of going pear-shaped because, you know, as I said, we're trying to do a little bit too much of this extreme perspective. You're trying to do too much. Stick with something that's almost like an isometric perspective. Isometric perspective is where, again, the lines don't really go back to a vanishing point. They're just kind of parallel to each other. That will teach you the fundamentals of how to control these grids that underline the figure and the structure. Once you do that, then you can start to build out more interesting characters. You can start to play with, again, much more extreme views, much more extreme angles. You know, you could try something that is, you know, super distorted, right? Where we're seeing like massive amounts of distortion there. Again, you ratchet up the difficulty bit at a time. Do a little bit of this. And again, there's like levels to the degree to where you're studying. These are still abstract studies. Do a few of these things and then just go draw your normal stuff for fun, right? That's what's important. The idea is important. Having fun while you're drawing is important. If you find that these are tricky, as I said, go back and just, you know, try and get your ability to draw cubes or some basic things as solid as that can be, because then you find that there's follow-on. There's a flow to how these things support each other. But yeah, hopefully that has been interesting. Let me know in the comments. This is a little bit more of a technical one, which I do sort of apologize for. And the real challenge here is that I think both as a drawing teacher and as a student, what I remember, and I still find this kind of frustrating, is that it is hard to know where to approach this from. There's 4 or 5 things that you absolutely need to get right in order to start rotating these figures around and drawing them from different angles. And there's no linear way you can do it, I think, that gives you some amazing solution where you just do A, B, C, and then all of a sudden it magically works. It's a progression. Again, as I say, people can get really good at drawing cubes, and then they, you know, can't transfer those skills to their more interesting, fun drawings. And likewise, you know, if you just kind of keep doing this, but you don't study the perspective, then, you know, you're going to find it a little bit harder to you know, draw these things from different angles, and it's certainly going to take you a lot longer to get those things sorted. So it's a matter of doing all of these things and trying to figure out where they fit into your art journey, where they fit into your particular way of doing things. And I think the most important thing is to look for failure. Look for places where you aren't understanding things. But jump in first. Don't be afraid. It's okay if you try these things and they don't work. Don't freak out. Just step back and say, hey, what do I need to learn? Which fundamental thing am I not getting? Am I just completely not lining these things up? In many cases, it is just one of the biggest problems that you'll face is just people will be trying to draw these kind of lines and they're not even remotely going to the same vanishing point. There's a lack of accuracy. So that's where, again, just building your ability to draw straight lines, to develop grids. Again, I'll link to that video in the description. Just making sure all of that stuff is solid will help immensely. But this is a long game. This is a long journey. If you're partway along the journey, then again, you probably sort of know that already. There's no trick. As I said, you got to piece these things together in your subconscious mind a little bit at a time, and you slowly build structures that support each other. But I think what you have to understand is this does work, and you will get better at it a little bit by a little bit over time. So good luck with this. Let me know if you got any questions or comments down below. And but that's all I got for now. We'll catch you around. Happy drawing.
Interesting.
Karl is studying. Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating Ricky?
I don't know. See, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right? I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about...
what's the point?
About a lad who, 8 years old, yeah. But he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
what do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse the computer.
Go! You are...
No, I did
no, honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And, it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y to confuse the computer. Like the computer going, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, yeah. Last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, no. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing, because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
We do though, don't we?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm just...
A title for the story?
No, it's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area, right?
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. So, Karl, what are you asking me? About this spurious story you saw on the internet?
I saw it on the internet. There's an 8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk. Yeah. And it's saying, is this right? Should it?
No, it's not. But what
do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right. You know, I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
oh God,
what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it.
Yeah.
And he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? What are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the public?
I'm just saying, say if you live next door to this woman.
Yeah.
Right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright, son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, alright then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right, and you do that when you're a baby, and everything's alright, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at
Sure.
a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like, you don't see, it got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see...
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see, like, an old man having a Twix. You never...
Oh!
So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old
No,
man
I
eating a
know,
Twix.
that's a terrible thing.
So what they have got, right, they've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
No, listen now. So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah.
So,
Look at him! You
Forget
think he's
it.
giving a lecture at Oxford?
it's not going anywhere.
No,
you
go
know?
on, sorry. Go on.
I'm
What?
just saying,
Right.
you grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look right, so he's having...
It doesn't look right!
So...
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
Now, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix. And a damn curly-whirly, Grandad, you old fool.
Hi. Welcome to Learn Guitar with David Brent. Before we start this lesson, got a little surprise for you. Just to spice things up. Literally. Remember this guy, Dom, from Equality Street? That's going down a storm still.
Hearing it. People love the rap and that.
Yeah, well, I like the tunes as well. I've got another tune for us to do together. This one is it's a little bit reggae, little bit calypso, hence the, you know. And have you got a rap for it?
Yeah, I wrote a rap. It fits, I think. Like it's got, there's like a little sing-songy bit as well. I was gonna get this girl Tanisha to sing it, but then she got busy with like prison and that. So if you can, it's just
Not
like
a
4
problem.
lines.
Not a problem.
Yeah?
Not a problem.
Cool.
Yeah. The rap hasn't got anything about dwarves and wheelchairs in it
it's
as of this time.
it's a different
Good,
concept.
because you know I love dwarves and people in wheelchairs. You know, in fact, I would love a dwarf in a wheelchair as a mate. I've said that before.
When you never said that.
I do, yeah. But you know, in song form, it's a downer. You know, keep that sort of thing to documentary.
Right,
So, yeah, it's as I say, it's sort of world music. It'd be good with get the band round it. So you know, a little bit of clip. So steel drums, all that. Maybe some real African vibes from, you know, stuff like Paul Simon. And, yeah. Let's do it. It's called Ain't No Trouble. can work all day just to earn $1. I can break my bone, you never hear me holler. I can lose my home, I'm kicked out in the street. If my baby's by my side, then life is sweet. Cause ain't no trouble like trouble. If you lose the one you love, ain't no trouble like trouble. If you lose the one you love, ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, you can take my eyes, Lord, leave me blind. You can make me lame, Lord, I'm sit on my behind. And I still won't beg, Lord, and I'm no hero. If my baby's by my side, Lord, you've taken 0. Ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, I could lose my job.
But it'll be fine, cause I can still find the odd snob to rob.
I could get chucked out
of my mum's house, but it could be fun sleeping rough when the sun's out.
lose my voice,
But I've managed to still do some sick rhyme damage with sign language.
take what's mine.
Almost anything, Xbox, wedding ring, fish tank, terrapin, poke me in the eyeball, pull out a gun, say something spiteful about my mum. Tease my dog so he doesn't even know it by going to throw a bone but just pretending to throw it. Make death threats, yeah, and I have to guess where. Then when I get there, pull out my chest hairs, headbutt me in the nuts if you want. Cause ain't no trouble like losing the one you love.
Ain't
Come
no
on.
trouble like trouble.
Yeah,
When
yeah.
you lose the one you love,
Lose it,
ain't no
lose it.
trouble like the trouble.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you lose the one you love,
What?
ain't no
What?
trouble like the trouble.
Trouble,
If you
trouble.
lose the one you love,
Yeah.
ain't no trouble like the trouble. If you lose the one you love, oh. Oh.
Yeah, what? Why'd you?
What?
No, just the D thing, like
What do you mean?
when you lose D1, the one D1.
Ain't no trouble like the trouble.
No, no, the lyric goes.
When
It's
you
like,
lose the one you love.
lub. Wait. Where you got lub from?
Ooh, you don't know. Right, this song is about my favourite place in the world, Slough. Just great memories, great memories. More convenient than a Tesco Express. Close to Windsor, but the property's less. It keeps the businesses of Britain great. It's got Europe's biggest trading estate.
Well, coming up to today's show, as I said, we've got all the greatest hits of...
The greatest
indie-
hits.
No, you
No,
see...
that is what you said.
Now, I was going to say that there'd be no swearing on today's show.
That's
there
not
was a
true.
lot... No, there's going to be none at all. No profanity or filth or anything like that on today's show.
What?
There was too much last week and it's got to be stopped, seriously.
What, the boss, was it? Is he really nobbling you?
No, higher authority than him.
Really?
Yeah.
What, the radio authority? Have they
No.
been on to you? I'll tell you, the reason is because you just pushing it to last night. I'm not surprised at
it was my mum. I got to stop swearing.
What?
Well, it was her birthday and I phoned her in the week and she launched straight into it. I was... well, listen to this.
You taped your mum?
Yeah, listen.
Yep.
Happy birthday.
Oh. Do you know you don't have to go far on your radio, don't you?
What?
Your language, my son.
What?
Well, arse and piss and C-T.
I didn't say it. Yeah, no, it's all bleeps out. It's all electronically cleaned
yeah,
up.
I know. You take it steady. I didn't bring you up that way.
Yeah, well, I got it from you. You used to F and C all over the place when I was
No,
little.
I didn't.
Well, you used to come in with a
Yeah.
bottle of gin in one hand and a cigar in the other.
You lying git.
Yeah, no. Yeah. From a bingo, right? You used to come in with a vicar.
Yeah.
Nicky's sherry. You used to come in, effing and blinding. You know, I'm 5 years old. How am I meant to be?
You lying toad. annoying, Toad.
How old are you?
73.
73.
And I used to correct you in every way you spoke.
Yeah.
You didn't learn a lot. You got a real old Berkshire accent.
Well, yeah, I wonder where that came from.
And that other bloke, tell him your handle is Ricky.
Why? What's the matter?
And it's not Gervais, it's Gervais. So correct him when he's on the radio.
Yeah.
Your handle is Ricky.
Yeah. Do you want to give him a message? Because I'm taping this.
Oh, you ain't.
Yeah.
He said, do you want to give him a message? Because I'm taping.
Faith No More from out of nowhere on XFM 104.9. Well.
Yeah. Pathetic.
What?
Gervais? Oh, it's got to be Ricky Gervais. My mummy says it's got to be Ricky Gervais.
You don't want to get on the wrong side of her.
Don't call me Gervais anymore. It's Ricky Gervais.
Honestly, you don't want to wind her up.
What's all that nonsense about handle? Your handle is Ricky Gervais. What handle? What's she talking
She
about?
was into CB, wasn't she?
What?
Yeah. She was not younger then. She was about 60.
Right.
When it was at its peak, and she used to go around, you know, things like, I'm in the lands of the brain bottles, I'll be at eyeball, pregnant roller skate, all that sort of stuff. I don't know what she was talking about. I'm in the pub, right? She used to have a gang.
Oh, your mum?
Yeah, used to have, they're called the backyardies. They used to come out and, you know, be in the garden.
Right.
You know, doing a bit of gardening and sort of crazy paving. Hey, help me with that rockery, Lil Chill. That was her
Lil
name.
Chill.
Yeah, it was next door. Her name was Lil, and she married Mr. Chill, so she was Lil Chill. Yeah, honestly, you don't want to wind her up. We've got an ad break, then Radiohead, and then the second half of the call. You know why I'm scared of her after this.
XFM.
Yeah, I was funny, right, because I was in Crowley's show earlier. Gary Crowley. Have you heard of Gary Crowley?
I don't know whether I have or not.
Gary Crowley's a DJ.
Oh.
You better say yes, you have, because he's going to listen to this.
I've heard of him, yeah.
Yeah. What'd you think of him?
Not bad.
Oh.
But listen, we've taped all your last 3 weeks. I'm just going to send it to Larry today
Yeah.
for him to hear.
Good.
You go careful. You don't have to go near the bone.
I bet you can't wait. You don't believe I'm going to play this, do you?
Not if there's any swearing on there, you better not.
Well, you wouldn't swear, would you?
No.
You would,
I never taught you to swear anyway. I used to correct you in everything you said and done.
Yeah.
Even to the teas in the water. You remember? And the teas in the butter.
You've never had water?
No.
Unless it's mixed in with beer?
No.
Remember when you taught me to do the dustman's blow when you hold one nostril and blow it all out the others?
You filthy animal.
You taught me that.
I did not.
You used to come in and you used to, if I was naughty, you used to gob at me.
Ian, I'm talking filthy. You know I couldn't do that because things like that makes me sick anyway. Yeah,
I can't wait to play this on Sunday.
No, and I won't wait to get up there and get you.
Do us an ident. Say, Ricky Gervais is my son on XFM.
Ricky Gervais is my son on XFM.
104.9.
104.9.
Yeah. That's
I
it.
think that's a nice Berkshire accent.
Yeah. Yeah. Right, okay then, 73.
Yeah, don't tell everybody. They all want to join in.
Yeah. Alright then. Well, I'll,
Right.
73.
And you go careful what you're saying.
Alright then.
Right.
See you later.
Cheerio.
Bye. So, no swearing, Steve, yeah?
I can't believe you're scared of your mum.
I'm not scared of my mum.
You're scared of your mum.
And you said I was drinking last night on the show. Last time. I wasn't.
No, you weren't. Well, might not have been drinking. You were smoking.
Oh, she knows I don't smoke.
Well, no, she knows you don't smoke cigarettes.
You don't know her, Steve.
Hey, and what about does she know about the steroids? Hey, I mean, how do you explain that physique when you go around to see her?
She just thinks I work out a lot.
Well, it just seems to me, Gervais, that, no swearing on the Ricky Gervais Show. I mean, that's what's made our name. That's our bread and butter.
Yeah.
I mean...
Butter, it is. There's 2 T's in butter.
It just seems to me, Gervais, that you're compromising the show. You're compromising the show.
I wouldn't compromise the show just when my mum's listening. There's Kenny Rogers.
Hello, Ricky Gervais, with me, Warwick Davis.
Yeah, can I just say, this has nothing to do with me, the fact that I'm dressed like this. It's because what he wanted.
I like dressing him up. It's, let me explain. We've just been working together on Life's Too Short, and I can't get enough of this guy. I've sort of combined my two favourite things in fiction, really. I love Robin from the Muppets and the dwarf Warwick Davis. So
I see what you've done now.
so I just like, I wanted to combine the two, didn't I?
You fused us, basically.
I got my own little frog. Oh, God.
I'm just glad you didn't bring the puppeteer along.
So I invited Warwick round to my house, right? And he thought we were going to have a drink or something, or dinner, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it was dinner. I haven't eaten.
And he's like a little frog that's coming from the garden. Oh, he's heavier than you think as well, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was it like filming on Life's Too Short?
Oh, every day was an adventure, to be honest.
Look at him! He's dressed as a fucking frog!
Yeah.
Oh, this is my best day ever! We cut out his little ears, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
Little frog. Could you hop? Could you hop up
I
the stairs?
don't think I can hop. I honestly don't.
Well, you can have a go. Now we've got the... see if you can hop up the stairs. Oh, Life's Too Short, coming soon. Oh, God. Could you stick to a wall? Oh, God.
TV.
I just think there was a kid who grew up in our avenue, right, on the estate, who, when it was born, right, we kind of thought it's got no chance, this kid, because its man was a bit of a rumman. You know,
a rumman? Where's that?
No, just like, you know, she liked going out and having a fag and like having a drink, and she's never at home. It's the one who had the horse in the house.
Sure.
Right, which I don't want to go over.
Sure. It's old news.
It's out there, isn't it, if you want to find out about the horse in the house. But she had a kid, and everyone was pretty surprised when they saw it, because it was a good-looking kid. She was surprised, because, like, you know, the man wasn't that good-looking, the dad was a bit rough. But it came out, and she was showing it around the avenue, going, look at this I've had. And she was chuffed with it, because it's probably like one of the newest things she's ever had, because everything else was always sort of second down and what have you. But suddenly she's got this brand new little baby, right? Anyway, as it grew up, right, those looks went.
Right.
And I'm not talking getting old, I'm talking by the age of about 3. It looked rough already, right? And all that just happened because that's the life it was in, right?
Yeah.
So like it had like a patchy head. Its hair.
It had a patchy head.
A patchy head. It's just sort of.
It wasn't a North American Indian. What do you mean, a patchy head?
Just his hair was patchy. He used to chase sort of cars and stuff.
Chase cars. Sorry. What do you mean?
That's what he did for his.
Sorry, did she let it get raised by wolves?
No. But all I'm saying is that at the end of the day, what is it that makes a person? Do you know what I mean? Now, I don't know what state he's in now, but maybe he learned all his mistakes by the age of 4. Well, the only time I wanted a wig was when I did jury duty once, right? And it was annoying that I was sat on the jury right in front of, like, these criminals, right? Everybody else has got disguises. The judges have them wigs on, right?
That's not disguises!
It is a disguise. That's a disguise. That's why judges wear them, right? So
No! Well, then why did they print their name in the paper and have a picture? What do you mean it's a disguise?
It's a disguise, isn't it?
No! If it was a disguise, they'd go in with one of those glasses with a nose and the beard attached if it was a disguise. All judges would look like Groucho Marx if it was a disguise.
Well, I'm just saying that's what annoyed me when I was sat there on the front row, right? I couldn't have been any closer to the criminals, right? I was sat there and I thought, why didn't I just pop a little wig on or a pair of glasses?
I would have loved to have seen you
in the front row at Crown Court.
No,
I'd
because
love to see it because in this country you're not allowed to show pictures of jurors. You can't take photos in a courtroom, so there's always these sketch artists that draw drawings, and it's on the news. The idea that we'd have seen 11 people and a sort of Krusty the Clown figure would have been amazing.
Yeah, I would love to see the artist do an interview, because it would be like complicated people. Oh, hey, he looks characterful, and then just a little round
Charlie
head.
Brown.
Charlie Brown sitting on the end. Okay, Carl, you're in charge of the world now. You are this. You're all powerful. You're like a god. Okay, you can do anything. You call all the scientists, and they go, "What do you want of us?" Oh, orange-headed one. What the fuck do you want of us? Right? What do you want them to do? Go. What do you say?
well, I want to come in and how long have they been working on the Big Bang idea?
Forget it. You've got every science.
No, but I don't just want to come in and poo-poo that because they're gonna
Poo-poo.
They've done a lot of research.
Well,
on
hold
it.
on. You wanted to stop a minute ago.
Yeah, I know, but you don't just come in, guns are blazing. I'd say, hello
You can do
everyone.
anything you want. Oh, go on then.
Hello everyone.
Hello, Carl, leader.
Right, listen, this Big Bang thing you've been doing.
Yeah, well, that's just only a few of us. That's like less than 1,000,000% of us. We're all here.
Yeah.
I've dropped AIDS research. I've dropped cancer research.
Right, well, why have you dropped that?
I'm working
Who's
on
told you
it.
to do that?
Well, no, we knocked off. They said you wanted to tell us something. We're all here. Every scientist in the world
Well,
is
listen,
here.
what research are you doing?
Oh, well, I'm looking at what happens if you give Feminax to an owl.
What happens?
Well, I'm halfway through it. I got called away.
Look, I'm really busy. What do you want me to work on?
Who said they're doing cancer? Go back to work. Right.
Okay, the rest of us doing stuff that you think we're fanning around with. What would you want us to do?
Listen, well, I can't do it all today.
What about me? I was doing AIDS.
Hang on a minute.
I was doing AIDS.
You just wait a minute.
Right, okay, why does cancer get to go back? Are you saying that cancer's a bigger problem than AIDS?
You go back to work.
So AIDS go back. I'm doing restless legs.
Right, can everybody but the Big Bang people leave?
These words of wisdom will be inscribed on a wall of a museum one day. Proceed.
I think trousers are going to be stopped being made. Just because you see kids now, they've got pants around their ankles. They're going further and further down. So I think that's evolution, just getting rid of the trouser.
Right.
It's just dropping naturally.
That's the evolution of the trouser because it's dropping incrementally
Well, you see now,
down
you can
the
see
arse.
kids' underpants, so they're just dropping.
Yeah.
I think they'll get to a point when they just don't bother wearing them anymore.
Right.
Prediction 1!
Okay,
That's an amazing one!
They'll stop making trousers in the future.
Good,
Okay.
We're going to get weaker. That's already happened.
Mm-hmm.
They used to say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Now they're saying eat 5 fruits.
Right.
So we've definitely that's evidence. You can't argue with that. I'd probably put that first because he goes right. What's number 2? So swap that round.
Okay, that's number 1.
Give him the pants second.
Yep.
I'm gonna die.
Okay,
They
number
used
3.
to say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. They used to say pull your trousers up. Now they say put them down. You can. I've never had such fucking dribble in my life.
Number 3.
Right, number 3. Oh, the scholars are now waiting with bated breath when they find this old scroll, and they go, "Ooh, what can number 3 be?"
I reckon we'll blend all our food.
Oh God!
No, because
He was going to make a point about race. Well, you see, I never thought it would be. We'll blend all our food.
like they do for babies, you mean?
I just think when you think about all the stuff we eat now, cavemen chewing on big lumps of meat.
Yeah.
we had wisdom teeth.
Yep.
Now they say, well, take them out, you're not using them.
Yep.
Why not using them? Because your food's soft.
Yep.
Sorbet.
Yep.
Soups.
Yeah.
You know, everything's softer,
Just
isn't it?
those
When you
two
get an
things, yeah.
avocado, they say, is it soft? Everyone's squeezing the food before they buy it.
Yeah.
No one wants anything tough.
Yeah.
So I think chewing is a sort of
It's a thing of the
thing of the past. We haven't got the time to chew. Everyone's like, hurry up, eat that. You don't have to go out for dinner with Ricky. He's like, hurry up. Like, I'm still eating
Well,
it.
he does blend his food, I think. Okay, so blending food.
Great.
I reckon. What else do we do now? So I've done teeth, done trousers. I've come up with this idea. It's sort of like glasses, but you can live wherever you want to live.
What do you mean?
Everything that's real, you're not looking at that anymore. This is really the future. I'd put this at number 10. This is like...
We're only doing 5. Fuck me.
So what you mean is that you look through the glasses and instead of seeing what the real world, you see a tropical
what you want to
paradise.
see. So if you're a young kid and you like the idea of living in the urban ghetto with all graffiti on the walls and that, you can see that.
Yeah, but hold on. Are you walking round? Because you'll be bumping into stuff, won't you?
No.
Why not?
No, what you mean is that the stuff that's there in the real world is being digitally reimagined in your glasses. So what was a nice country lane is suddenly now an
It's
urban
got loads
ghetto.
of graffiti on it.
Sure.
Absolutely mental, pointless, will
But-
never work. Absolutely
But
one of the
older-
maddest
So
things you've ever
weird,
said.
really weird, that one.
Yeah,
It could be done. I reckon it could be easily
Why
done.
would it be? Okay,
Because-
that last one, that's number 4. That's a load of bollocks. So what's number 5?
There'll be more letters in the alphabet.
Why?
Why?
Because we're running out of words now, aren't we?
No, we're not running out of
No, we
words,
are. We are definitely running out
Just
of words.
using, it's using the letters we've already got and
yeah.
making new words.
Yeah, we're making, yeah.
No, but we haven't got enough now.
Of course we have. Have you any idea? You could have a word with 9 L's
Yes.
before you run out.
Yeah, and they do in Wales and what have you. That's because their alphabet is shorter than ours. They've only got something like 24 letters over there.
Right.
They go mental with the L. now, what we do is we've got 26 letters, but we are now struggling.
We're not struggling at all.
We are.
We're not. I mean, it's a stupid...
Boswallocks in shampoo. Now there's a word where they've gone, well, we've invented something here. We've got something we're putting in shampoo.
Boswallocks?
Boswallocks.
Have you just made that up?
No, it's now they go, new with Boswallocks and ceramide R. Yeah, but that's a new word because they have to, they come with a new word.
But it's a terrible word.
Why?
Boswallocks.
It's another word.
Is that real? You've missed that out,
No, I haven't. It's a real word.
Boswallocks, yeah.
Now this is what I'm saying. So years ago, when they came up with all the sensible ingredients,
Go on.
sodium. That sounds. That sounds all right.
He likes sodium. He doesn't
happy
like
with that.
Because it
Boswallocks.
sounds like something in it, like an ingredient.
Well, yeah, but that's because you're used to it.
Is this a load of Boswallocks? Are you winding me up,
No,
the two of
it's
you?
real.
It's real, and that's because 26 letters. We've wasted them. Years ago, we went mental with the, pneumonia, sticking a P on it, and there's loads of words where you go, "What's that letter doing in there?" Whereas now, they can't do that. They've gone, "Whoa, pull that back. Why is that letter there?" And now you've got stuff like abbreviations and stuff.
Yeah.
Let's not waste letters. Let's just control it a little bit. Cars are called things like, GTI or something, because they're going, well, I can't think of a word to call this. So they're giving them letters. Think of a word now. Think of a word that hasn't been made up.
What do you mean?
Well, tell me a word that hasn't been made up.
All words have been made up.
No, one that hasn't. That could be used. Say if I invent something now to put in shampoo, what can I call it? Quick.
Cranberry.
No, it's too close to that. No, we can't get that past the advertising person.
Scrimpton.
Scrimpton.
Yeah.
It took Ricky 2 goes and you accepted his second one.
Well, I think we've sorted out the future. One of my first disappointments with football, I was 10 years old, okay, and one of the teachers was in charge of the football team, my junior school, and I went down to Tutty's, it was, a shop in Reading with my mum. So it's white socks, black shorts, white shirt, like that, got that.
knocked on his door. I said, I've got my kit. He went with the trials yesterday. He missed it. That was it for a year. Right? Next year, where the trials, got the trials, okay? He was going, everyone, I want to give it 100%, right? Really try hard. He's watching people play, right? I made sure that every time I ran by him, I was out of breath. Every time I ran by him, he sort of looked at me, I think, yeah, right. Came to it, he said, the team is this, I'm left out, right? He went past me, and he went, you've clearly got asthma.
So you didn't make that team either?
Yeah, and I didn't, and I vowed that day, never try hard at anything.
Yeah, well, you've certainly kept that up.
Yeah.
Question from Kevin. He says, Carl, other than the famous boxing match that you've often talked about, I know that took up about 20 minutes of your time, have you ever been in any other kind of fight? I don't suppose a slangy match. I think they're talking, have you ever been in a physical fight?
Once that I can remember. It was over a woman. Well, a girl. I was at school.
Yeah.
And it was because, like, it's hassle, innit? Right, relationships when you're younger.
How old were you?
About 7.
It was over a woman.
Go on then. Yeah, go on.
And there was this girl knocking about who, you know, she was quite good looking, everybody liked. And my mate, he really liked her. And I didn't sort of ask her out on that, but she just sort of took a shine to me and stuff, right? And didn't really go out with her properly. It's at that age where going out with someone is just like sort of going, all right, in the morning, do you know what I mean? You just sort of nod your head.
Yeah.
And that. Anyway, there was some sort of school disco, and they were playing Spin the Bottle or something, right? And I sort of wandered over to see what was going on, and I stood on this girl's dress and put a hole in it. And she started crying. I was like, oh, I can't be doing with this, right? You know, what's up with you? It's old, what's up with you? And everyone's going, Carl, what are you doing? That's meant to be your girlfriend and that. You should be sort of saying, oh, I'm sorry, and giving her a hug and all that, and saying it'll be all right, we'll sort the dress out. I said, oh, I can't be dealing with this. Right? So she's crying her eyes out. I said, it's over, right?
Oh, it's over, you saying, right, in the morning. Yeah.
No more of that.
Yeah, there's no more. Right. In the morning.
So I go to the toilet, right? And this lad who fancies her comes in and goes, you're out of order, you know. I'm saying, what are you on about?
Sorry, there's 2 7-year-olds. Yeah, you're out of order. Keep out.
Yeah. Cut it out. Show her a bit of bloody respect.
Sorry, were you wearing trilbies?
Yeah. He put his cigarette out in the sink and he just said, leave it.
Get out of my face.
So I just sort of said, look, why are you getting involved and all that?
Yeah.
2 7-year-olds. Yeah. Why are you getting involved?
And it was obviously like, because, you know, he fancied her and that. We had a bit of a fight in there. Yeah. I accidentally, you know, sort of chipped his tooth on a sink.
Wow, is it like a proper...
Sorry, this is like someone from Lock, Stock and 2 Smoking Barrels.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? 2 7-year-olds in a toilet.
So you put a hole in her dress. I don't know how that happened. What were you wearing? Football boots? How did you make a hole in her dress?
I don't know. It was like that sort of material.
You were
like,
wearing winkle pickers.
like crepe. You know what I mean? It was like a crepe dress or something.
Yeah.
Right.
And that got a hole in it.
So you're having and when you say you're having a fight, I mean, are you wrestling with it? You got arm locks and head
bit of
locks?
wrestling and shoving about and that. And it was an accident. I didn't sort of go, right, I'm going to break your teeth or anything. It's just that I happened to push his head down and his tooth hit the sink.
Right.
And it chipped and what have you. After that, like, I sort of left there and stuff, and we had to go into assembly. And there was a copper in there doing some presentation saying, listen, kids, you know, don't get into trouble because we're out there and we'll get you. Right? So sort of trying to teach the kids young not to get into any trouble and stuff. So I'm sat in the assembly room thinking, oh, God, there's a copper here talking, and like, my mate's going to come in a minute, like, with a chipped tooth and everything. And
Questions are going to get asked.
That's what kind of happened. I mean, the coppers didn't get involved.
Yeah.
Did you turn your back on violence after that then?
Yeah. He said you'll never take me alive, copper.
So yeah, that was the sort of last fight.
Brilliant.
A friend of mine got a gift, or rather gave it as a gift. I don't know if you've been familiar with these. It's a charity organisation, and you go on their website or you phone them up, and you can give someone else the gift of, say, a goat. And it's a sort of goodwill thing, you know what I mean?
So you buy an African family a goat
that will help them for years.
And it's
to come.
like you're saying, well, I would have bought you a present.
Yeah, but I've used that money wisely.
Yeah, so it's almost like they've given
Exactly.
the present. They've given the goat.
Yeah, it's a beautiful idea. But as soon as he told me about it, I thought to myself straight away, knowing Carl's views on charity and giving, I wondered what his views would be.
Well, are they happy with the present over there? Like the people who are getting it?
You're an idiot. What, you think an African family wakes up and there's a little goat with a ribbon tied round it, and they go, oh, look what Santa brought us.
Look, and that mince pie is gone and that glass of milk.
You're such an idiot.
No, but what I'm saying is, does that family want a goat?
Yes.
But why?
It's not they want a goat, it's they need a goat. Do you think... What do you think this organisation is?
Just arbitrarily giving goats to people.
They're going to say, oh, I wanted Nintendo. What are you thinking?
Well, what I'm saying is, right, let me put myself in their shoes. Well,
This'll be
I
a
haven't got
first.
any. But say I'm one of them, right, over there. Right, I'm sat there, it's Christmas Day, right? I open it up, open the present, little goat there, right? Now, if I was one of them, I'd be going, not another mouth to feed. At the end of the day, there isn't enough food to go round for themselves, never mind a goat. Don't they say, like, having a dog and that is quite expensive? Sometimes they say, you know, what with all the injections you've got to give it.
Well, I'm assuming it's all above board. The goat's had its injections. That's what some of the money goes towards. It's just a way of redirecting cash.
But the thing is, why do they want that goat? What's the main reason? What does a goat give you?
Milk.
Right. Now, wouldn't it be easy to just send them a bottle of milk? Without all the hassle and the headaches that come with it. That's all I'm saying. And the other thing is, think about the goat. That was happy over here. Suddenly, it's on barren land. No grass.
I'm gonna burst! What do you mean?
You didn't send a goat from here.
I'm saying, who's happy at the end of this, right? You've got a fella who hasn't got a present over here because the mate bought him a goat, right? So yeah, let's do this properly. So there's a tick. He's not happy, right? Then you've got the person who's opened it, who, like you said, wanted something else, right? It's a goat. They go, who's going to look after this, right? So tick, they're not happy. And then you've got the goat going, what am I doing here?
Rick, we've had an email here from a bloke. I think you're going to respect him, because I think you can tell straight away from his name that he's the kind of guy you'd want to hang out with.
Go on.
I know how much you love fun people.
Yeah.
Well, Paul, and he's calling himself this, Paul the Party Animal Parker, he's emailed in. He's given himself that moniker.
Right, I assume they're in sort of like quote marks,
They're
are they?
in speech marks, yeah. Paul
Brilliant.
the Party Animal Parker.
And he's calling himself that.
Yeah.
That I can't wait.
So when you picture him, what are you thinking?
Millhouse.
Right, okay.
I think he looks like Millhouse from The Simpsons.
Yeah.
He's
He's working in sort of an IT department, maybe?
Yeah,
for a large
possibly.
organisation?
Oh, I think he might still be at school.
Okay, right, yeah.
Yeah, I think.
And this is the vital question. Do you believe him to be a party animal?
I believe him to be a party animal is as much as a man with a long scarf that his mum knitted him to look like Doctor Who can be a party animal, yes.
Do you think that when people are organising parties at his school, they're thinking the first person they got to get on the list and make sure he's guaranteed as
You've got to take Paul the party animal. Because I bet he's got millions of affectations. I bet he wants to be known as the one that carries around a biscuit tin.
Yeah.
You know, he's got the scarf.
He's the guy who only ever wears bowling shoes. It's his thing. It's his thing. He's a little bit kooky, it's his thing. And it is fairly interesting what he sent in. He's found this on the web. A Serbian man who has invented a sex machine for women. And he's appealing to Western women to test his device. It runs on a 390-volt electric engine, simulates sex, and has a 7.5-inch artificial penis. As soon as I read this, I was thinking... It's just imagining there going, oh, thanks for coming in, yeah, okay. So there's what's going to happen is there's a penis that's going to pop out from here, and it's going to have sex with you. I'm going to stand behind the machine. I've got to stand behind here. There's a lot of dials and stuff. I don't want to bore you with.
Well, why do you have to stand behind it? Just
I can't. It's technical stuff, but I got to be behind the machine.
But there's no penis on the robot at the moment. It's just a hole.
No, don't worry. What happened is I'll switch the machine on. I'll go behind, and then a penis will appear.
Will it be like a metal-looking penis?
It will be a robotic penis, but it will seem like it's a regular fleshy human penis.
So you've made this sort of low-rocket penis look really realistic.
It's really realistic. You will not be able to tell the difference between, say, the robot one and mine, for instance.
Okay, well, I don't want to see yours.
No, there's absolutely not.
Because I've not come around here to have sex with a person.
I know, you come around to test the machine.
Yeah,
and that is exactly what you're going to get.
Okay,
a lovely
well,
piece of mechanical action.
Talking of eating knobs, Carol Thatcher, you know, a daughter of one of our leaders.
Sure.
Well, you saw her in I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. She popped a couple of bollocks in the mouth, chewed them up, swallowed them.
Oh.
Kangaroo penis there, dried. She couldn't even get. It was so tough she couldn't even get through it. And then she, eventually she eats
What was it, like a pepperoni?
Yeah, and she took. What do you think of that, Carl?
What, eating that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
I watch it. I like those little trial bits, right?
yeah.
But what I don't think people realise is, right, it is hard eating a little kangaroo knob. Right?
Really? How do you know?
No, it's just, you know, you think about it and you go, oh, couldn't do that, right? But what they never mention on the TV programme, which I think takes it to the next level, right, they're eating that at like 7:30 in the morning.
Sure. Right.
Which
for
is
breakfast.
worse, innit?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? If I was there and Ant and Dec said, right, Carl, eat the knob, I'd go, hang on a minute, give us a few hours, let me get some rice and that on my belly and just sort of fill me up a little bit more. I'll pop back at about 6:30 this evening,
Right.
have it ready. And I'd be happier then. It's just that thing of, you know,
You
you've been at sea-
you don't want to eat. You don't eat animal genitals on an empty stomach.
So what are you saying? You could
I'm saying like I could eat a knob at night, but
just cut that there. We'll loop that. If any DJs are listening, just take that quote. I could eat a knob at night by Karl Pilkington. Maybe do a dance remix.
Yeah,
With just
I think
that-
maybe you're sort of a house producer and you could maybe get some kind of high energy beat going, and then we could just send that out to some of the gay clubs. I'm sure
Yeah.
it'd be really popular.
Please, anyone, send us, you know, that looped with a nice little, you know, funky house beat. Karl Pilkington saying, I could eat a knob at night.
But don't you see what I'm saying, though? The way the world... We've changed more than the world has. We can't handle anything now, can we? Look at it, like I say, a bit of snow, a bit of cold, everything comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't go out, it's dangerous, you'll slip over, people having time off work.
Yeah.
What would you do, right? If you run a business, right, your business could go under, right? It snows a bit. You got 10 employees. You're paying them well, and they go, I can't come in today, Carl. A bit icy. I'll do it. Okay. Right. They're snowed in. Right. You're running the business. What are you running?
It's a... let's not... I'm not going to big myself up. It's just it's a
don't you run
factory.
it-
It's
doesn't it make
U-bends.
bells that knock? Don't it?
U-bends.
Yeah.
U-bends for...
Toilet. So
yeah.
you run a... Okay. Right. Okay.
It's a plumbing,
You pay them all right, don't you?
I'd say most of them are on above average.
So you're there. What time do you get in?
About 9:15.
9:15, waiting for them to come in at 9, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, right, it's snowing. It's a bit snowy, you got there. It took you a bit while. You'd set off early, did you? Or?
Gave myself a bit more time because I had to put the heating on the car.
Okay, ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Hello, KP Plumbing.
Oh, is that Miss Pilkington?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Who's that?
Oh, it's Sheila. Listen.
Sheila, shouldn't you be here by now?
Yeah, no. I was going to set off.
We'll set off now. Stop wasting time. We've got a big order on.
No, I know.
We're all on a bonus here if we get this done. I'll see you in 10 minutes, shall I?
I can't make it.
What?
I can't make it.
Why not?
The car won't start and it's slippy on the drive. I just can't get out.
Get the transport. I'll see you in... I'll give you 20 minutes, all right? Don't worry about it. Thanks for calling. I'll see you in a bit.
I'm also scared of the ice. I'm scared of the ice. I'm not gonna come in today. It's dangerous.
So what are you going to do?
Well, I'm gonna wait until the ice and snow goes away and then I'm gonna come in.
But they're predicting it's going to be about 2 weeks before they clear all this.
I can't really travel in this. It's a bit dangerous.
Well, I'll tell you what. You stay at home. I'll replace you. Because I need someone to come in with
What,
a big
you're firing
order.
me because I can't get into work with this.
Well, I got
think-
into work, Sheila.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, you don't live with me, do you? If you did live with me, then
No, but
you'd probably
it was
see
bad.
how...
It was bad where I was as well.
Yeah,
I'm here.
but do you know how bad it is here? When you come round and have a look how bad it is here,
no,
you drive
I'm
my...
not coming
Tell you
round
what,
here.
you come round and drive my fucking car because I'm snowed in, you fucking calling me a cunt. And I'll tell you, if you fire me, I'll take you to a tribunal, you bald-headed wanker.
Right, you're fired anyway for that.
You're in fucking trouble then.
Right then, see ya. Right, and then
Right.
she's done with. She's weak anyway.
Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
KP Plumbing.
Hiya, is that, Miss Pilkington?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Hi, it's Bob here.
Bob.
Yeah, bit of trouble. In my area, it's absolutely snowing. It's impossible. No one's getting out. I live near Sheila.
Bob,
by the way.
listen, Sheila's just been on. She's saying she can't get in either.
She can't. I've just seen her out there trying to dig her car out, and she's about. She's really tried hard to get to work, but she can't do it because she's not very rich and her car doesn't work. She hasn't got the right tyres, and there's no public transport. They've cancelled those. Wrong snow on this country. I'm not going to make it in today, son. So I'll see you tomorrow, right, boy?
Well, no, you're saying you'll see me tomorrow.
Yeah.
But you'll probably call up tomorrow with the same thing.
Well, only if it's snowing still.
Now, listen,
it might not
well, I can't run a business like this, Bob.
Yeah, it's not my fault, is it really?
So go round to Sheila's and like slag me off if you want. But I tell you what, you're not coming back here. Oh. Fuck off. One chance. Give them one chance.
Oh. Well, you didn't even give them one chance.
No, because they've done it before.
TV.
Alright, Australia, how's it going? Just letting you know that I've got a DVD out right now. It's out now, available to buy. It's called The Moan in a Life. And it's me travelling about the world, sort of trying to work out life's big questions. You know, stuff like marriage, and is it all worth it? What's the point? Kids, why do people have them? Happiness, how are you meant to get it? Death, what you're worried about? It's those sort of questions. So they wanted me to sort of reference Australia a lot, to sort of make it seem like I've gone out of my way to do something special for you, but I don't know much about the place. What else did they say about you? That's always confused me. They say that you're down under. Australia, are you going down under? The way I look at it is, the world is floating about in nothing, isn't it? It's just in the universe. So who's decided that you are down under? Makes you think, doesn't it? How do you know? How do you know that you're down under? You could be up over. You could be right at the top. Because if you think about it, it's hot where you are, which means, you know, if you think about it, heat rises, doesn't it? So if heat rises, you're at the top. So it's up. It should be up over. You're coming up over, not down under. Just a thought. I've had that thought for ages. I had no one to tell, but now I'm talking to Australians. I just thought I'd run it by you. But it's thoughts like that are on this DVD. Life's big issues. You know, is it up over? Is it down under? It's just a question, isn't it? I'm running out of ideas to try and sort of theme this around Australia. I just, you know, at the end of the day, I've got a DVD out. The Moan in a Life. It's out now. Look out for it.
Fuck.
It's really good, David. It's really good. Oh, Cole doesn't laugh at anything.
It's like a laugh.
No, okay. Right.
Right, do you want to go out? Sorry. I don't know if I could do this.
Fucking hell, she's looking good. See how Christian she is with a couple of these down her fucking neck.
You know Hannah's got you out here because you stink? Making a smell in there. Like knocking about with a fucking crab stick.
Worst style ever.
Well, whose head is it? My head.
Yeah, it's yours. I've got to look at it. That's what he says as well. He said it's not just there, it's the head. Completely round, egg-like thing with a V on it, a little strained face, gimp face, and then...
Okay, let's do it again.
Don't worry about it anyway, it's nature.
It's not nature, mate.
It is nature. It is nature, that's exactly what it is. This bit fucked off, that bit stayed, don't worry about it.
Oh, God! Oh! There's no chance!
Right, coming to Christmas, some people forget the true meaning of Christmas. I just think it's drinking and giving presents. But obviously it comes from the story of the Nativity. Very briefly, what is the story of Christmas, as you remember?
This baby Jesus was born. That's it.
Okay, can we expand on that a little? Let's start the night before. What happened on Christmas Eve?
She was, Mary was pregnant.
Right.
She's wandering about, you know, probably knowing it was due. Was she knocking about with the three fellas at that point?
No. No. Three fellas being...
The wise men?
No.
She wasn't with them?
No. Who was she with?
I honestly don't know.
What was her husband called?
Her husband was... I don't know. I wasn't that interested in Ari. Jesus was born.
Right, okay, and Mary and Joseph, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
They travelled, didn't they? On a donkey.
Yeah.
What happened?
She's pregnant.
Yeah, we've done that.
And then she's like, I'm going to have this kid in a bit, sort somewhere out.
Right.
He says, we're going to struggle.
She came from Salford.
It's Christmas Eve.
Right.
And they stayed at
No, wasn't Christmas Eve, was it?
All right, then it's just a normal day.
Yeah.
And they stayed, they couldn't find it. They couldn't find anywhere.
Right.
So they stayed in a stable.
Right.
She had the kid on December 25th. That's it.
Then what happened?
That's it, really.
No, it was the three fellas she was knocking about with at the beginning.
The wise men.
Right.
And there was a star involved. They followed a star. You see, you're making me look like a divvy, but it wasn't an important lesson at school. I'm not a Catholic or anything. I'm nothing. I'm sort of... My mum even said, she said, don't tell anyone that you're not anything. She said, because something about witches. When I was a kid, when you're a kid, you're at risk of being taken away by...
People think he's a character. People think this is scripted.
No.
Imagine if I bothered writing this.
But it's not important. It's so not important, this story.
What did your mum say about witches?
No, she just said don't go around telling people you're not christened or anything.
Right.
I did a Sunday school thing called Crusaders.
Right.
Joined that, but I just went on like the Friday when they had Sabutio, table football. And then they came knocking on the Sunday saying, come on, you've got to come with us.
Right.
And I went and it was rubbish. There was no Sabutio. There's an old fella reading out a smelly Bible, really old books. And I hated it. I said, I'm not going on a Sunday again. So I used to just go on the Friday, and that is religion for me.
There you go.
I didn't need it. I don't need an old story.
Final thoughts? What does Christmas mean to you then, Karl? If you don't like old stories, what does Christmas mean to you? Just look down and tell people what they should be thinking of this Christmas. What does it mean to you?
It's hassle, isn't it, Christmas? Got to buy presents. The meal's all right. The food's all right.
It's the best, isn't it? If the roast dinner is the, the king of meals, surely the Christmas roast is the king of roasts.
Yeah. Christmas. I could do without it. If someone said we're getting rid of it, I'd go all right. I don't like all the build-up. I don't like that bit in between Christmas and New Year when nothing's happening. That's a dead week. Nothing goes on. People are still off for Christmas. Christmas has happened. Get back to work. You can get nothing done. Everything comes to a standstill. Why do you like Christmas?
I like being allowed to drink gin and tonic at 10 AM while watching Noah Ledman's give little sick kids presents.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what it's about. It's not about, you're saying to me, telling me the story of baby Jesus, you haven't got a clue yourself. It's not about that. It's about, like you say, eating chocolates. Same as Easter is for fat people with chocolate. I love Easter. No, you don't. You like eggs. You like chocolate, you fat little... Do you know what I mean? So, we don't need it. Maybe back then, when you were, wise men knocking about a desert, they needed something to look forward to. They probably didn't live that long.
I don't think they were looking forward to Easter, though, were they?
No, but listen... But
Jesus certainly wasn't looking forward to Easter.
Back then, when you watch Scrooge, everyone's looking forward to it. Tiny Tim, go and get a chicken. Now, these days, have a chicken when you want. Anyone can afford it. So it hasn't got the same values.
Tiny Tim, go and get a chicken. Oh.
Happy Christmas.
Brilliant.
Right.
Hello, I'm Ricky Gervais. I'm here in London, in my office, but I'm not writing another award-winning series. No, I'm chilling out with my friend. Look who it is. It's only Elmo.
Hi, everybody. Hey. Thank you. Throw money. That's a little joke.
Well, Elmo, I've invited you...
I'm a little low. Can you put him up on the couch?
Do you want that? There you go.
Oh, quick, thank you.
You all right?
Yeah, Elmo's good. Elmo's so happy happy to see you here, and I'm so happy to be in London too.
Well, last time we met, we were in New York, weren't
Yeah.
we? On Sesame Street.
Where I'm live, yeah.
Where you live, and it was a great pleasure. I actually cited meeting you as the highlight of my career.
Really? I'm gonna feel sorry for you, Mr. Gervais.
I don't get out enough, do I?
No.
Now, Elmo, it was...
Something there.
You know they're my pyjamas.
Really? You work in your pajamas?
Well, you were in your
Boy,
pyjamas
he
last
must
time.
be really important.
Exactly.
You can wear whatever you want to wear.
I know. I can do what I want here. It's my office.
You
This is my town. And when I was there, I noticed that you were surrounding yourself with, like, weird things. Little monsters and strange...
Well, Mr. Gervais, we don't call them weird.
No,
They're
but...
family.
But they're not sort of normal, are they, really? There's-
Well, no.
They're all different shapes and
Yeah,
sizes,
and colours,
funny
yeah.
voices and that. But I've got a little surprise for you. Because I've got my own little weird friend that I think you should meet, that I think you'll get on with.
Really?
It's only Warwick Davis.
Mr. Warwick Davis? Hello.
Come on.
Hey,
Oh, there you go. Look.
Oh, you get that done to you too, huh?
Fine, here we are.
I'm the luckiest man in the world.
Oh, this is great.
There we are.
Should we
It's
sing
so
us-
good to see you.
It's good to meet you as well. Hiya.
Wow.
Fantastic. This is good to be here.
Yeah.
Right, Ricky. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a little suit on.
Yeah.
We could get you something like this, couldn't we? A little furry outfit or something.
No, I've done the furry outfit.
Oh, Amway, what do you think of him?
Well, Emma thinks you're wonderful. I'm gonna see you in a bunch of movies.
I know he'd like you.
Yeah,
Are you?
yeah,
Yeah. I knew they'd get along.
It's so good to meet you.
Look at this!
we
I
are.
can't believe like that!
Together, all
Oh,
together.
God!
Good.
Oh,
Hey, Mr. Ward, will you come to Sesame Street?
I'd love to see
No,
that.
very much
You
like
put him in a little
yeah,
dustbin
maybe.
or something.
No,
and
I'd
he-
have to be in a little...
a little pop up in a little dustbin.
I'll
And you'd get to meet, like, interesting people, because I have big guests on there. And they go, look, do you want to meet Elmo? Yeah, hello, Elmo. And they go, do you want to meet Grover? Yeah, hello, Grover. Look who's in the bucket. It's Warwick Davis! Oh, yeah! It's Warwick Davis in the bucket! We love Warwick Davis in the bucket! Oh, God!
Boy, this is such a wonderful surprise, Mr. Gervais.
I know. See?
Thanks for bringing
you,
Mr. Warwick.
You can't keep him, though, because he's got to go back to... where do you live?
I live in a house.
Oh, I'd love to see that little house.
It's not little, you can imagine it. Would be.
Oh, God. Oh. Say goodbye, everyone. Say goodbye.
Bye, bye.
Say goodbye.
Boy, it's so nice to meet you, Mr.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. We'll
Mr.
chat later.
Warwick.
Yeah, kiss him if you want.
No, yeah.
Go on. Kiss him.
And it was full of old people, really. I mean, that's probably why it's called Gran Canaria, right? Because it's just
Grannies
old people.
everywhere.
Yeah, right. But what I thought I'd start doing is start a diary.
Okay, why?
Just because I sort of had a bit of time on my hands and that. Just thought, write it down, write stuff down.
And do you hope that this one day will become one of the great literary documents like Samuel Pepys' diary?
I haven't heard of that. Is it any good?
You've never heard of Samuel Pepys' diary?
No,
the most famous diary other than probably Anne Frank's.
I've heard of Anne Frank's and that, and I thought if she's sat in a loft, knocking stuff up, not much going on in her life at that point, yet she
Sure.
was still writing it down.
Yeah, whereas
Thought,
you've
well,
been
I'm
to
on
Gran
holiday.
Canaria, yeah.
I thought, so there is stuff going on that I can chat about. Start a diary.
Sure.
You started a diary.
Yeah.
And what are you going to do? Did you keep it up every day?
Yeah, just...
oh, can I read it, please?
Well, a diary is meant to be sort of...
Please, can I read some out on this podcast? Carl.
Some of it, though, is only relevant to me. It's sort of...
Oh, this is... Please, give me it. Oh, my God.
I mean, this isn't... I haven't just...
Look how big it is!
It's one of those desk diaries.
It's huge. It's about a foot long. And it's... Oh, that is amazing. Imagine if Anne Frank's had been like that. As she got out... Right. Everyone would have heard it clank down on the desk.
Yeah, but my writing's quite big, isn't it?
Oh, look. Give us that.
Do you know about joined up writing? Have you heard about
There's
that?
no point.
amazing.
Sometimes you can't read it, can you? So it's
Right,
best
okay.
to look at ancient times.
Oh my God! It starts on the first day. This is wonderful. Going on holiday to Gran Canaria today. Woke up to the news that Tony Banks had died. There was a piece on the news about how everyone was shocked. Got me thinking about an invention that would be good. Right, a watch that counted down your life. If it says you've got 3 days left, go to the doctors. told Suzanne about invention. She said she wouldn't buy one. But she said that about the iPod.
How would this device work, this watch? I mean, how would you know when you were about to die? Is that again, not for you to worry about, presumably the boffins and
No, all I was thinking is that Tony Banks fella, you know, he died and everyone was shocked about it. But if you had like a little watch on...
But how does it work? You can't just say, wouldn't it be good? How would this work? Yeah, I imagine you in the patent office going, got an idea. They go, oh, certainly, Mr. Pilkington, what's your idea? Watch, they're counting down your life. Oh, how does that work?
Just wear it, just pop it on your wrist.
No, what do you mean, just pop it on your wrist? How does it work? Just pop it on your wrist. Brilliant. You're an idiot.
Well, it's interesting that he goes on. The flight to Gran Canaria was a bit bumpy. I thought about the clock that counts down your life again, and I wondered if it would know if you were going to die in a disaster. No, he's querying his own design.
He's wondering if it would know. He's invented this.
And now he's not even sure. A fella on the plane was reading Koi Mag. It was a fishing magazine. I glanced over and noticed he was reading the Pond of the Month article. Don't think they could make it into a weekly magazine. Well, to be fair to you, because I remember seeing a guy on the train once reading Carp Monthly, a magazine dedicated entirely to carp, and it had Carp of the Month. And I just thought, you know, once you're like 3 months in, the editor must be stressing, have we got any more carp? We got a carp that's actually done anything?
I reckon if they used the same one twice, there wouldn't be many complaints.
No one would be noticing.
No, that's the carp they used 2 years ago.
There was a really fat bloke on the plane. He was playing on his PSP. While I waited to go to the toilet, I looked at what game he was playing. It was darts. He's that fat and lazy, he can't even face playing a more active game on a games console. Me and Suzanne got off the coach along with a couple of old people. One of them was in a wheelchair. I don't think it was wise of them to come to a volcanic island with a wheelchair. Everywhere's pretty rough paving and slopey. Guess I'll keep an eye on it as the weeks go on. Day 2 in Gran Canaria.
Brilliant, we're only at day 2.
The hotel's a bit odd. I've never seen as many cross-eyed people in one location.
That's enough, isn't it?
That's amazing!
Well, you may as well let me read on a bit more.
No, this is amazing.
Well, come back to
This
it
is a
later,
brilliant diary. This might be the best diary ever written. Oh.
While sat listening to the Kinks on my iPod, I wondered if everybody thinks in their accent. I know I do. What's this? What are you talking about?
Just that, you know, when I've been sat there lying on the lounger, right, and I was thinking about stuff.
How do you know you think in your accent? Tell me a typical thought.
Because what I mean is, say if I was like, if I saw something, right, do you know how I say, like, oh, that's a bit weird, isn't it?
No, but
that was
I don't
being
have
said.
to. But when you think, I don't think the sentence is like I'm saying it. It's just a thought. The thought appears. It's conceptual and it's already there. It's not like I go, Rick, what? Just looking at that fellow over there, were you? Yeah, I was. Yeah. I was thinking it looks a bit weird. Oh, so was I. I don't think out whole sentences.
Whereas you have Carl, stop listening to the Kinks for a minute. Look over there. More cross-eyed people.
No, well, that's
Is that how your mind works?
In a way, yeah. And
Brilliant.
that's when because I thought
explains a lot.
It's great that he has to think about whole sentences.
Because I thought that's weird, isn't it? Like I didn't think that's weird, isn't it? And I thought I actually think in my accent. And then I thought, does Stephen Hawking, does he, when he's doing his maths and that, is he? I don't know where he's from, so I don't know what his accent would be like.
I think he's from Kent or Cambridge or Oxford.
Right.
Or something.
So
you think he might think in his
voice, in that voice,
the computerised voice.
Just wondered.
Had lunch inside today due to shite weather. Sat next to an old fella. Old men's ears and noses carry on growing as they get older. Suzanne noticed his fingers were fat too. Maybe they continue to grow. Suzanne didn't laugh when I said her arse had the same problem. Day 3, cloudy start to the day. Had pie and chips in a cafe. Had a bit of an argument with Suzanne because I thought it was daft that we were paying for food when we were on an all-inclusive holiday. Changed my mind when I saw they sold pie, though. The cafe was called Tattoos. The fellow who owned it didn't have any tattoos. But we never saw his wife.
Oh, brilliant.
Had a drink in a bar. Everyone sat and watched one of the local cats lick its bollocks.
It's the greatest holiday in the world.
That's
the entertainment in that town.
Went back to the hotel and had a sleep before tea. I love the fact you're moaning about old people, but you're just as bad.
You've done nothing so far.
He's done nothing, he's got a hip. Woke up to news about ducks being badly treated. There was a really ugly one with bent legs.
I'm gonna die. Why does he write this down? Oh, God. Oh.
There is a fat bloke from Bolton who is in the pool as I write this. He's got a big tattoo on his back, but I can't work out what it is. ... He just got out of the pool and burped. You just felt like you had to keep us abreast of that.
Everything's in the diary. I just seen it get to the point where you're going, breathed in,
Yeah.
breathed out again.
There was a big fat fella in the sea who kept his t-shirt on. If you're big and fat, is there more chance of you getting burnt because there's more of you on show? I asked Suzanne, and she said she didn't know in that sort of not listening kind of way. I wanted to hang about to see if the fat bloke was going to get in the kayak, but Suzanne said we had to head back. Just let him waiting to see if he's going to capsize. We go home today, so we got up early to get the last bit of cloud.
No, it's just that it wasn't. It's not that sunny all the time. I mean, I was sat in weather that if it was like that here, there's no way I'd be sat in the garden.
Yeah.
But because you're on holiday, it's like, well, we got to sit in it. Put your coat on.
So are you going to continue to write this diary? Every single day?
It's amazing. Keep this diary up. It's amazing.
No, I will keep it up, because what I find as well is, I think earlier on, before I went away, I think I did learn something, and because I wrote it down, I remembered it a bit better. So
what was that?
I just was thinking then, I forgot it now, but but I remembered looking back at it and not having to read it all, because I remembered the end of it before I read it, if you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Right, I don't know if you saw the thing the other week about the fella who's on that quiz show.
Who?
Sort of.
Oh, right, okay.
Gay
Who?
fella, straight, sort of man, woman.
What are you talking about? Tell me what did you see? Tell me what you saw.
It's
this is like a kid come running in, and he's seeing something frightening. It could be an alien, could be a ghost, could be a paedophile, and you've got to get exactly what actually saw out of him. Right, what did you actually see?
It's just this fella who's a woman.
Right. Right, okay, right, try and talk like a human being. Right.
It's a quiz show that's coming on the telly. And it's this woman.
Right, is it a fella who's a woman, or is it a woman?
Bit of both, that's why I'm talking about it.
But what do you mean? Is it a pre-op? Is it a transsexual, a transvestite? Is it a ladyboy? Is it an hermaphrodite? What is
I'll tell
it?
you about it.
Well, tell me.
I'm telling you. It's a woman. Well, it's a man.
Oh, forget it.
Listen,
come on. What?
It is a man. He is a man. Well.
Oh, Christ's sake!
It's a TV programme where they've got this...
Transvestite or television?
It is a transvestite, yeah.
So,
but the problem is... I'll tell you, just because you don't know about it, the programme is...
I don't know, I still don't know about it. I don't know anything about it, still. I don't know. It's a woman, man, woman, TV programme, look, TV.
No, it's a man who is now sort of half a woman. And...
A man who is now half a woman!
No, well, this is what's weird about it. He's got the top half... But not the bottom half.
What do you mean? He's got breasts and a wig, but he's still got his boys downstairs.
Why do you do that?
His caps and the boys are still there in his Y fronts.
Why
but
that?
Upstairs, he's got a lovely pair of dumplings.
Why do that?
Well, he's halfway through.
But why not get it all done in one go?
Maybe he couldn't afford it.
Well, wait until you've got all the money. That just looks a mess. And who's he pleasing there?
Well, he wakes up in the morning and pleases himself. He can't believe his luck. He doesn't know where to start.
No, but what I don't understand, I mean, I don't want to see him...
Well, can I just finish that sentence? What you don't understand is just about everything.
Yeah.
Right, what...
I find it weird, right? I sort of get... I understand the gay thing, right? But...
Do you? What do you mean?
Well, you know, I know...
Well, tell me the gay thing. Explain the gay thing.
I just know if you're a fella, you like men. I don't know much more than that.
What do you mean you don't know?
But what I mean is, with a transvestite, what's going on there? What do they want?
Now, transvestite is a cross-dresser.
See, I don't get that either. Because...
You mean a transsexual?
That's a man who likes to dress in women's clothing. It's not necessarily... They're not necessarily gay.
They're not gay. They're often not gay.
They just happen to like wearing women's
Those clothes, right? Yeah.
But then why not wear women's clothes that could be seen as a bloke's, like Suzanne wears jeans?
No, but they, yeah,
Just
but that's
buy
the
women's
thing.
jeans.
But that's their problem, is it? They like being seen as a woman. They like being seen as a woman. It's not just that it's more comfortable, or they'd wear a kilt. They like being seen as a woman. They feel more comfortable.
Alright, and what's the deal with this fella who's got
We don't know
both?
who this fella is.
No, we don't know this man who's half a woman.
He's called Miriam.
Oh, that's helped.
yeah, okay. Brilliant. I love this. Karl was in Heat this week, and they mentioned that he does this thing on Sky. What is it?
It was this thing with Richard Bacon, some programme about watching telly, and you just talk about what you're watching, and that.
And he was annoyed because he said because his parents are now, and so he's not doing it. He's not going to turn up because they mentioned it in Heat.
And so his parents might watch.
Yeah.
Why are you worried about that?
I don't like him watching stuff, do I? I told you. It dates back to when I did Little Donkey at school. I don't want people watching me.
What's that? Just renew us on Little Donkey? What happened?
It was just, you know, I was there to play the drums and that, in We Three Kings. I was loving it, you know. I got a bit carried away.
How old were you?
About 13,
Yeah.
right?
Really?
Probably.
Yeah.
About 10, no, about 10 probably. You know?
Yeah. Go on.
6.
Between
6 and
Where old were you? What school were you at?
Okay, you were playing Little Donkey.
Yeah.
So, and,
No,
No,
you
but
must...
it was one of them schools where everyone sort of was in the same one. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, a Manchester school. Just
What
the
do
one
you
classroom.
mean?
Well, it's like you.
What, sweeping chimneys in the day and then 1 hour of learning? What are you talking about? What school were you at? Was it infants, junior or
They
secondary?
didn't really do that. It was
What
one
do
where.
you mean? You did that? They still have to abide by the laws of the land in Manchester.
No, but it was a lot more like you had infants, but
Yeah.
you also had like the older lot. There's kids there who, when you're in the younger year and that, you'd see kids and you go, "Is that?"
Talk English and use terms that people do when they're talking about schooling.
I don't even want to talk about this.
No, how old were you? What oh.
I'm guessing maybe 6 or 7 or 8.
So you went from 13 to 6?
Yeah, but like I say, it's hard to remember because
Imagine if you were giving evidence in a trial.
Yeah. How old were you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I can't really narrow it down other than 7 years either way.
You know, theoretically,
Yeah.
he could get called up for jury service. Right, Karl on jury service.
Karl could be responsible for someone's rest of their life.
Yeah. Because jury service, that applies to anyone. Anyone could get sent the form. I think you're obliged to go unless you have a really decent reason not to.
Imagine it was a really, really important trial.
But what annoys me is that isn't it supposed to be you're tried by 12
good
of
men
your
and
peers?
true. 12 good men
and true.
Yeah.
Good men and true.
But, and women, of course.
The only
these
thing
days.
I can hope is that the defence attorney would wheedle out Karl at an early stage.
Oh yeah, objection. I object.
Yeah.
Why?
I object. Have you heard of something called Rockbusters?
Yeah. Well, sorry, you can't just object on that. Okay, then what if I tell you my client, standing trial, is a little gay Chinese fella?
What's
would
his
you do?
difference? He's prejudiced.
So how does it work then?
How does what work?
What do you mean? You just get called up and you have to do jury service unless you've got a very good reason.
And it's not, I normally have Mondays off.
Yeah. Oh, you wouldn't like that. Oh,
yeah, or
you have to get there at 9
I've got
o'clock.
to prepare monkey news.
Yeah. Oh, you couldn't stand it.
Just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't
What would you say?
say, oh, don't get me involved. Because I got involved once.
Don't get me involved!
No.
What do you mean you got involved once?
Well, with the police and that, when I lived in Manchester, I saw a bit of car crime going on.
Right.
And I got involved. Hassle. I'm telling you.
How did you get involved? You phoned the police?
Yeah, because I thought, well, I know, well, that's just it, but I thought I'd hope somebody did it with my,
Yeah.
So, and it was just a hassle. Loads of phone calls.
Canary.
Having to stand on a balcony of this, tower block that I lived in. Police shouting up at me. I'm stood there with my underpants on, right? And what it was, a car had been robbed, right? So I call up the police and that, right? Said, right, listen, car's been robbed. And they said, where is it? I said, I don't know, just across the road from where I live, right? So I tell them where I live. And
Where
they
do
go-
you live? How old were you? 13?
So she's asking loads of questions and that. I'm saying, look, whilst you're asking all this, they're actually getting away. So, will we leave it? And she's like, no, we'll track it down, blah, blah, blah. So I said, well, look, I work nights.
What could you see? You could see some
I could
lads
see some lads
just
pushing a car.
pushing a car.
Yeah.
That's how they steal cars in Manchester, is it?
Yeah.
Everywhere else in the country, they're getting in, they're driving them away.
In the south, they drive them away.
Exactly.
You usually sort of like
In
start the
Manchester.
engine. You get away a lot faster. What do the police do? Push their panda car after them.
Exactly.
Say, come on lads, don't cheat, don't get in the car. They're just pushing it.
It was late at night and that, and I
Oh,
suppose
okay.
you don't want to start the engine.
Of course you don't want to wake people up, not when you're
right?
nicking cars. Of course you don't.
Alright,
No,
so...
no.
So, is it
Late
working
at
for
night?
you?
Hold on, they
They
weren't
were
gay.
wheeling
They
it to
weren't
the
gay,
bus
were
stop.
they? They were out late, really? Come on, Carl, so what happened?
So, anyway, I said, look, don't call me back. I'm going to bed. Right? I've got work in a bit.
Brilliant.
So,
Let's go, what?
so that was that, right?
Where were you working?
Next thing, right? Phone's going. Hello, it's the police again. I said, oh, I told you not to call me. Right?
I told you not to call me at home.
So, they said, right, the police are outside. Can you go on your balcony? She's like, oh. So I'm 10 stories up, right? Stood on the balcony with like my underpants on.
Yeah.
Right? And the police are saying, where's the car? And I'm saying, I don't know, they've gone down that road now. So I'm trying to point to them. They're shouting up, saying which road and all that. And I just thought, why did they get involved?
Yeah.
I don't think they found it.
No.
It was hassle.
The
You know what I mean?
blokes were pushing it too fast.
Exactly.
They were in the next street by now, weren't
But
they?
this don't get involved. Don't get after that.
Imagine him being on some sort of trial where it's like some sort of mob affair.
Yeah, gangland murder.
Imagine him going into witness protection. The police just explaining to him, your new name is Jeffrey Peters.
Why can't I be called Bruce Wayne?
Well, no, Mr. Pilkington, listen. Imagine that. Do you know what witness protection is?
Oh, go on.
Amazing.
Look, it's when, supposing you were to give evidence against the mafia, right, you've done a job for them and you had to give evidence against them, right? Cause
Right, well, if you're going to do... I mean, all I did was 2 kids nicking a car.
Yeah.
Don't start messing with mafia.
No, listen, of course not, no. But imagine you were in the mafia, and that you got caught doing something, but instead of going to prison for the rest of your life, you said, oh, well, I can give you Mr. Big, yeah? So they go, okay, give us Mr. Big and we'll let you off, right? So the police go, right, okay.
I got handed this leaflet in Soho.
So you say, okay, well, I'll give you names. They go, right, we get evidence in court, and you go, yeah. They go, right, we'll have to get you away because you'll be done for. So you give us all the names of Mr. Big, right? We'll give you a new identity, a new passport. We'll let you go and live in Canada for the rest of your life with Suzanne, right?
So why have I got to do all that?
Because they'll bump you off, won't they?
How did you know it was me?
They'll find
Because
out.
you have to give evidence in court. So they go, oh, Pilkington squealed.
So you got to change all your life.
Yes.
Yeah.
They've killed someone. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, you just know. No, you're giving them in to keep you from going to jail. So you don't want to spend the rest of your life in prison because you're involved in something or or whatever. It doesn't matter, Carl.
No,
listen.
I'm just. How would the mafia know that I've said something?
Because you say in court, those are the people. He's Mr. Big. He's Mr. So and so. He ordered the hit. Don't you know anything?
It's a lot of messing around, though, isn't it?
But
so I've got to leave this job, yeah.
Yeah, I think they might try XFM first.
I'd have to. What? I'd have to bin Suzanne, would I?
No, she can go and live with you.
You have to cut off all your ties with your friends and family, though. You can't contact them. You got to leave them behind.
Would she have to change her haircut?
Possibly.
When did the murder happen?
Yeah. What would the new identity be that you choose? What would you choose for yourself?
What name?
Probably. I wanted to be called Brett when I was a kid.
Okay.
Right. Brett what?
Brett Pilkington.
You got to change your surname, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Maybe go ex-directory.
Where would you move to?
Probably back up north.
No.
Well, no.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Can I suggest, maybe, Brett Hanson and go and live in Australia or Canada or something. Well, maybe when they're not operating, maybe, you know, and they just forget it.
You might have to change your identity as well. You might have to grow your hair. Well, you can't grow your hair, but maybe wear a wig or a moustache.
What would you do? What would you wear?
So like an afro or something.
Something like that.
That would be brilliant. That would be absolutely
and I've got to do
brilliant.
all that just because for 5 minutes I stood in a court thing.
Yes.
And said he's the one who did it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, why can't I just wear the afro and the glasses when I'm in the court? Say my name's Brett, right?
Yeah.
Change my voice a bit. He did it, and they go, thanks very much. I go off, I carry on my life,
That's
I'm still
genius.
coming in here on Saturday.
I don't know why they haven't thought
That
of that.
is genius. I
That
don't know.
discounts all the witness protection scheme.
Why don't they do that?
Yeah.
So they go, well, I'll go to court as Brett Hanson
Yeah.
with an afro. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Right, and then when I come out, I'm back to Karl Pilkington, still talking like that, but without the afro. That is perfect. You've got... Why don't you call the FBI and say, listen, I can save you billions of dollars a year. You're a genius, Karl.
Alright.
Ho, ho, ho! Placebo in this picture on XFM 104.9. 8 minutes to go, let's make it a good 8 minutes, and then we can all chill out. Yeah? Enjoy the rest of the weekend.
Play the jingle.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news.
Excellent. A particularly aggressive jingle this week.
Wow.
Yeah, looking forward to this monkey news.
Carl.
Right.
Come on.
So, what's her name?
What?
We've done...
Sorry, what?
Brilliant.
We've done a lot of monkeys who, like, got involved in crime and stuff.
Yeah.
Right? We had, the one on the train station, nicking a bag.
Yep.
We had the one who went into a bank.
Who cares?
Went into a bank and walked out with the money and stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Didn't happen either. Next.
But the thing is, you never sort of found out what happened to them. If they sort of got worse, got more involved into crime
this
and
monkey
stuff.
news update.
That would be amazing.
Brilliant.
What they found out in India is...
Yeah.
It's got a prison. It's just for monkeys.
You mean wild animals? You mean
a zoo?
Yeah, a zoo or a kennel or something that where they've been gone mental or something.
No, it's a prison.
Yeah,
It's a prison.
does it have fraud cases?
It's got. It's
mainly sort of animals that are attacked things. It's mainly violence, I bet. That's my
that and theft.
Say it again.
Stuff. Theft.
Say it again.
Theft.
Say it again.
Robbing.
No, let's go back to that word. We're going to keep doing it. We've got 6
Robbing.
minutes. You're going to say the word right before you go to Hastings.
Well, you say it.
No,
well,
you
no,
say
then
it
you know how to
first.
say it.
Well, all right, robbing then. It's been caught robbing.
Say it again, though.
So
Who's
anyway.
robbing? Who's robbing?
So they've got this prison. Right?
This is extraordinary.
Say it again.
No, you're not going to say it?
No, go on then.
So they got a prison for them, right? And there's 11 of them in there, 11 monkeys.
Right.
That are in there for life. Because that's... I think there's one just got out on parole, right?
No time off.
But there's 11. There's 11. I'll give you the bit of paper because I thought this was
weird. Even you thought it was a bit weird.
Now, Carl, what are they in there for then? Because I mean, they're in there for life, so I'm assuming it's murder, is it? Premeditated murder. They're not crime bosses, are they? They're not.
Are they
the prostitution and gambling?
Are you sure they're not just the pawns and the head sort of like orangutans up a tree going, remember, you don't know me. You're on your own.
If I go down, you're all coming with me.
You take some of your gorillas down there and sort him out.
Oh, the Great Banana Robbery.
It's not.
I wonder if they get them.
Right, go on then.
Okay, let me see. Now, I don't know what source this is, as ever.
Is it just the back of a fag packet found in the toilet?
Well, no, I mean, someone's clearly... If this is nonsense, then someone's clearly gone to a lot of effort, because it does open with the headline, Parole Unlikely for Inmates of Monkey Prison.
Yeah!
Officials say 11 inmates at India's only monkey jail. Officials? Now, what kind of people work at a monkey jail? Where do you work? It says officials say 11 inmates at India's only monkey jail are unlikely to ever be released. The prison in Patilia houses monkeys apprehended by game wardens in Punjab state for thieving and attacking people. The Daily Telegraph reports how the monkeys at the prison in Montebello snarl and glare at visitors from their heavily barred cages. 2 monkeys were released a year ago after exhibiting good behaviour for 18 months in the jail. They have remained out of trouble. Prison can work, that's good.
So
all 11 monkeys.
They were aggressive wild animals that were taken away from the public for their own good.
and robbing and that.
Wildlife officials believe part of the problem has been caused by thieves training monkeys to help them. Lorry drivers training monkeys as guards for vehicles, and itinerant entertainers using ill-treated monkeys as part of their act.
It's the monkey that takes the rap.
It's a shame, that, isn't it?
That is awful. They didn't know what they were doing, did they?
Oh, so there you go.
What do you think of that, though, Carl? What would if you could visit them, like Lord Longford or something? What would you say to them? You go there and you get a visit a week or something. You know.
So can you get us a video?
Alright. Do they get conjugal rights?
Do you reckon? You wouldn't be interested in that, though, would you?
What's the go? What?
Would you be happy to give them their conjugal rights?
Yeah, would you?
Fair enough.
All right.
Off to Hastings.
Off you
See you
go.
later.
I'm not a champion of Rockbusters, as you know, but I think it's overstayed its welcome. But I want to go
Well,
along
I think
with
Carl's just giving the fans what they want here.
it. Okay.
It's a popular thing, isn't it?
Got some good prizes.
The press are behind it.
Let me tell you what the prizes are. It's a dance music compilation, Cream Trance Anthems 2003. We
Brilliant.
play a lot of trance on the
Well,
station.
I put that on quite a lot and danced to it
Exactly.
myself.
There's the original motion picture soundtrack to the forthcoming film adaptation. When you've seen the film, I'm sure that will mean more to you.
You
It's
like
a
that,
good-
don't you?
It's a good movie, yeah. Nicolas Cage
I
playing
haven't seen
himself
it.
and a twin brother. And it's written by Spike, it's directed by Spike Jonze.
Joined at the, what?
No, they're not joined at the hip at all, or at the face. And we've also got the best one-hit wonders album in the world ever. What have we got on there? We've got things like The Crazy World of Arthur Brown, brilliant.
Nana, 99 Red Balloons.
The Rembrandt. In fact, it kicks off with Nana.
Sure.
That's followed up by I'll Be There For You, the theme from Friends by the Rembrandts.
Yeah.
And of course, Breakfast at Tiffany's by Deep Blue Something.
Brilliant. Deep Blue Something. Is
What
that the
happened
worst
to
name
them?
ever?
I think it possibly is.
No, Sixpence None the Richer.
Sixpence None the Richer
That's
is
a
quite
pretty bad name.
Okay, again, I know we've got a lot of chill-out fans who listen to us, so the best chill-out album ever.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, of course, all these prizes collated by Carl from, I guess, people's drawers.
Yeah,
digging their
looking in a
bags.
drawer, looking in a drawer.
Oh, dearie me.
What is it?
The only thing probably worth having is a, I mean, it's topical, if nothing else, Carl. A 7-inch by the White Stripes. Merry Christmas from the White Stripes. That was their exclusive
Brilliant.
Christmas single. So if
So that's early, isn't it? That's
It's
you
worth
get that.
something. It is worth
A lot of
something.
people got to wait 11 months before that's released. Or is it last Christmases?
Exactly. And I have never heard of this DVD.
Go on.
I like to think of myself as being fairly familiar with TV and films, but I have never heard of Stephen King's Rose Red. Welcome
On
to a
DVD.
place evil calls home. And it's on DVD, it's certificate 12, so don't imagine anything too shocking. And it looks appalling. Is Rose Red Mansion truly haunted? To find out, Professor
Okay, we've got the gist of it. They're
It's a
not
living
very
place
good
of
prizes. They're cobbled together, but if you've got nothing better to do, call in if you know the answers to these clues. It's Rockbusters.
Let's not let
Right,
them call
so
in, Rick.
I
Please don't
give
let
you-
those people call in.
I
No,
give you
no,
some.
they're not calling in. It's email only. Carl, don't interrupt me.
I'm just.
Yeah. Ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Email only. I can't stress that enough.
We just don't want to speak to you people.
Right, go on.
Right, so I give some initials out and a cryptic clue, and it makes up the answer and that.
Well, sometimes it does, yeah. Go on.
There's two of them, there's a new aspect, which I'll explain about in a minute. So, the first one is, cryptic clue is, well, if he would have been wearing an helmet, it would have been alright. And the initial there is B, right? So, well, if he would have been wearing an helmet, it would have been alright. That's B, right? Band or an artist. Second one, why are them Jamaican fellas swinging fish around their head?
Okay.
Alright,
This
initials
just fills me with...
DS. DS. Why are them Jamaican men swinging fish around their head? Alright? And the final bit to Rockbusters. It's a new bit. Last week I played you this.
His face goes along
Right?
with it.
That's someone beating up a dog. That was Smack My Bitch Up, right? So, here's some sound effects and that, and they make up a song.
I can listen to him talk
Hang
all
on,
day.
let's have a listen to the effects. Right.
Terrifying.
Right, I told you not to play that one. It's rubbish. No one will get that.
Well, we'll see.
I heard that. I can't always say, what do you think? I said it's rubbish. No one will get it.
No, it's not the one you think it is. Ah, right. So, email in, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk and you win that stuff.
I'm a little bit confused. I'm here. I've heard what you're saying. We've discussed this in the past. I don't know what's happening.
What's
The
that?
first-
Is that a clue? That's a cryptic clue. That's screaming to a song, is it?
Do with screaming.
Well, don't say it.
So
It
that-
should stand up by itself. Don't give him any clue.
Hang on a sec. So this is the name of a song. It's not a band or an artist.
Yeah,
the sound
that's-
effects.
So the
song.
first two are bands or artists, and the last one is the name of the song.
I said we should abandon this.
Okay, right. Do the question. Do the questions and the answers. And if I think that it's either too hard or ungettable because it's stupid, we're binning it.
Right.
I thought we'd already been. I'm annoyed that.
Right, come on. Do what was do it quickly.
The first one was, well, if he would have been wearing an helmet, it would have been alright.
Right, what's the answer?
That was B.
What's the answer?
Busted.
Right, that works. All right.
Busted, that's fair enough.
Did anyone get that? I assume some people got.
No. People have given up, Rick. People aren't even bothering to contribute.
Right, what's the next one?
They've just ignored it like it never happened.
Busted.
Second
Busted.
one.
Busted.
Why are them Jamaican men swinging fish around their head?
Go on.
That was DS.
Yeah.
70s band, Trout Spinners.
The Detroit Spinners have become the D-Trout Spinners.
Yeah.
Okay. Brilliant.
And then the final bit, I'll play you some effects. They went like this.
Let's hear this. It's terrifying, Carl.
Well, what's happened there? What was happening?
No, what's the answer?
That was Born Slippy. The woman was having a baby, the doctor tried to grab it, it fell onto the floor.
That's in your head, Carl.
That's just a load of screams.
That's in your head.
Oh.
Do you know what? I haven't even got onto Born Slippy. I'm still on the Trout Spinners.
Well, let's put a song, that's it.
I don't know what to say.
Alright.
Questions for Carl, just to sort of try and tap into his brain, see what's going on there. Yeah. The questionnaire that is often featured at the end of the TV programme Inside the Actor's Studio. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Is that how it works?
No, what do you mean? What's the question?
Well, I don't know. You hear so many other things that you have to go through other gates. I can't imagine him being on the door, is what I'm saying. If he owns a place, what's he doing there? He could put anyone on it.
It's St. Peter, isn't it, who's normally minding the gates, famously.
Right, so it's him asking me.
Okay, well, let's say it's St. Peter.
No, you go through the gate, Peter goes, oh, you're expected, he's got an appointment, we're going through to God, go through a few doors, go up top floor, right, past the executive washroom, into his big office, okay, that overlooks the universe.
So what?
So you've gone in to see God, it's an audience with God, you've died, you've gone to heaven, and what would you like God to say to you at that point?
Probably just say, you've done well and that in your life. You never did anybody any harm. So, welcome to heaven. Any problems, give us a shout. Here's a little layout of like a little map. It's kind of like.
I love this. This is a great answer. And my favourite one is you never did anyone any harm. That's great. That's a brilliant thing for God to say.
Yeah.
So hang on, he's giving you a little map.
So he's giving you a little map of the area. It's
and
big.
he'll sort of say, this is where you go for this is where you go for that. I'd probably ask him about the ghost situation. I'd say, am I now a ghost then? Or is this just like another planet that I've come onto?
Right.
I don't know if he'd answer that. I don't know if he'd be sort of a bit
cagey.
Yeah, a little bit like, well, I don't want to panic you and stuff. I'd say, right, is it right that I can see past family and that? Because to be honest, I probably prefer to stay away. No, but because the thing is, if you've done I've done all that in this life, so it's about moving on to another life and meeting different people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what's the point? It's just like the same all over again, but everywhere's white. I mean, I don't know if it is like
this. Do you think God would like this podcast?
Well, I suppose it just kills half an hour, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, but time's not a problem for him, is it?
Yeah, it is, because he lives for ages, so he needs loads of filler. I bet he's, doing stuff that he's just like, I'm not really into this, but it's something to do, isn't it?
Sudoku and stuff.
But I think there'll be just as many problems up there as there is here, because at least people are leaving here, whereas up there, that's the thing that I'd be worried about the most, actually, that it's really crowded. Because it's years and years of dead people, isn't it? London does me head in. Up there, it's going to be well busier than that. It's something, when I was looking on the web, found something out.
Go on.
It's a story about a woman who had a baby. What are
you talking about? What?
A woman who had a baby who was having a baby.
It was no clearer when you repeated it. There was a woman who had a baby who had a baby. What do you mean?
No, I didn't read any more into it, because I just saw that and I thought, that's weird. And then I just was thinking, like, imagine the kid at school at parents' evening.
Go on.
And it's like, well, your kid's pretty good. Now let's have a look at your work, sort of thing.
But what? Did the child have a baby?
Yeah.
Of course it didn't!
Play record! Hey, Outcast on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. You alright, Karl?
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah.
Just, when you were talking just now about, like the gay stuff.
Yeah.
Right, I don't know if you saw, the thing the other week about the fella who's on that quiz show.
Who?
Sort of.
Oh, right, okay.
Gay
Who?
fella, straight, sort of man, woman. Thing.
What are you talking about? Tell me what did you see? Tell me what you saw.
It's,
this is like a kid come running in, and he's seeing something frightening. It could be an alien, could be a ghost, could be a paedophile, and you've got to get exactly what actually saw out of him. Right, what did you actually see?
It's just this fella who's a woman.
Right. Right, okay, right, try and talk like a human being. Right.
It's a quiz show that's coming on the telly. And, it's this woman.
Right, is it a fella who's a woman, or is it a woman?
Bit of both, that's why I'm talking about it.
But what do you mean? Is it a pre-op? Is it a transsexual, a transvestite? Is it a ladyboy? Is it an hermaphrodite? What is
I'll tell
it?
you about it.
Well, tell me.
I'm telling you. It's a woman. Well, it's a man.
Oh,
No,
forget it.
listen.
Play record.
No, listen.
Come on. What?
It is a man. He is a man. Well.
Oh, Christ's sake!
It's a TV programme where they've got this
transvestite or television?
It is a transvestite, yeah.
So
but the problem is, I'll tell you, just because you don't know about it, the programme is...
I don't know, I still don't know about it. I don't know anything about it, still. I don't know. It's a woman, man, woman, TV programme, look, TV.
No, it's a man who is now sort of half a woman. And...
A man who is now half a woman!
No, well, this is what's weird about it. He's got the top half, but not the bottom half.
What do you mean? He's got breasts and a wig, but he's still got his boys downstairs. He's
Why
got
do you do that?
his caps and the boys are still there in his Y fronts,
Why
but
is that?
upstairs he's got a lovely pair of dumplings.
Why do that?
Well, he's halfway through.
But why not get it all done in one go?
Maybe he couldn't afford it.
Well, wait until you've got all the money. That just looks a mess. And who's he pleasing there?
Well, he wakes up in the morning and pleases himself. He can't believe his luck. He doesn't know where to start.
No, but what I don't understand, I mean, you know, I don't want to see him...
Well, can I just finish that sentence? What you don't understand is just about everything.
Yeah.
Right, what...
I find it weird, right? I sort of get... I understand the gay thing, right? But...
Do you? What do you mean?
Well, you know, I know...
Well, tell me the gay thing. Explain the gay thing.
I just know if you're a fella, you like men. I don't know much more than that.
What do you mean you don't know?
But what I mean is, with a transvestite, what's going on there? What do they want?
Now, transvestite is a cross-dresser.
See, I don't get that either. Because...
You mean a transsexual?
That's a man who likes to dress in women's clothing. It's not necessarily... They're not necessarily gay.
They're not gay. They're often not gay.
They just happen to like wearing women's clothes.
Right, yeah.
But then why not wear women's clothes that could be seen as a bloke's... Like Suzanne wears jeans.
No, but they... Yeah,
just
but that's
buy
the
women's
thing.
jeans.
But that's their problem, is it? They like being seen as a woman. They like being seen as a woman. It's not just that it's more comfortable, or they'd wear a kilt. They like being seen as a woman. They feel more comfortable.
Alright, and what's the deal with this fella who's got...
We don't
both?
know who this fella is.
No. We don't know this man who's half a woman.
He's called Miriam.
Oh, that's hot.
yeah. Brilliant. I love this scientific basis.
No, I
So
think...
all he's done, he's had the tits done, he's probably had the hormones, probably lived as a woman for a while. The last step, because you can probably reverse the breasts anyway, because they're probably implants and hormonal things, and whereas you chop your knob and boys off, that's, you come back the next day and go, sorry, I didn't mean that, I wanted my ears pierced. It's a bit more of a bigger operation to put them back. So doctors are probably making sure that he's just up to...
if you've had the top half done, you're not going to go back on what you've said.
But no, what's the top half being done? I could get you breast implants, give you a bit of hormonal treatment.
Now that would be a great idea for next week.
and you could reverse it. What you can't do is grow a knob back.
Well, you can. Last week you were talking about growing one on your arm.
Yeah.
We've done that.
We can do that. So that is possible. But the thing is, the truth of it is, I think I do know about this story. I think it was a television programme called There's Something About Miriam. The conceit of which was that this pre-op transsexual.
So I guessed that right, yeah.
Was masquerading as a woman.
Right.
And various blokes who didn't realise that this was a man had to
I've heard
try
about
and
this.
seduce her. And when they found out that it was actually a bloke, and a lot of them had kissed her, they refused to let it be shown.
I
and there was a big
agree
outrage.
though. That's just terrible.
Yeah.
That's
it's
deceit.
absurd.
But I mean, you know, that's awful. I heard it. I hated that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what?
I think it was a Sky One programme. Is there anything other than The Simpsons on Sky One that's worth watching? Have you ever tried to watch that? Have you ever seen Kirsty's home videos?
Yes. Yeah. But it's things like it's dogs on a slide, babies falling over.
Do you know, it's only recently reduced from an hour in length.
Really?
It used to be an hour long, and it was just, if you haven't seen it, it's just like camcorder footage, like
Do you know
been
what I
found of
like?
people falling over.
I like an old woman at a wedding falling over and showing her bloomers. That's my favourite.
But I like it when it's Kirsty's home videos uncut. So it's kind of 4 old women, like, naked.
With their tits falling out.
Windsurfing.
Oh, Christ, imagine that. Does it whistle?
Well, it's just, I mean, have you ever really sat and watched anything on Sky One?
No.
That wasn't
The Simpsons
or Star Trek.
I think that's what I watch on. I think that's
Or
pretty
wrestling.
much what I watch. Wrestling.
They have WWF wrestling, cartoons, and just the worst programs. I mean, it's
I've seen a
appalling.
bit of the wrestling. It's hilarious. It's
like
hilarious.
it's like a station that's made by a 14-year-old boy.
Yeah. Well, I think that's probably what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's exactly the demographic. Do you like Sky One, Carl?
I haven't got satellite ever, so.
Why not? I thought you'd have loved that.
No, I would love it.
Discovery Channel's all about
no.
slugs and that and weird stuff like that.
I know.
Chimps.
I was reading about slugs the other day.
There's a thing on one of the channels called Monkey Business.
Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
Because I was doing that thing, wasn't I, with Richie Bacon.
Yeah.
Where you can watch the telly and that.
You're talking riddles. You actually talk in riddles and forget a play record.
You should be the gatekeeper in some kind of Dungeons and Dragons fellow quiz game.
Right, yeah. Let me enter. Right, yeah, but I was doing that thing with Richard Bacon. What can he mean? What can he mean? He is the wise
There's
one.
a man who's
play
also a
record.
woman.
Yeah, yeah.
The upper half is, but is the bottom.
Yeah, play a record.
Bit of Clash.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Train in Vain. XFM. 104.9.
It is hard eating a little kangaroo knob. If I was there and Aunt Dec said, right Carl, eat the knob, I'd go, hang on a minute. I'm saying like, I could eat a knob at night. I could eat a knob at night.
It's that time again, it's what everyone's waiting for. Can you do the jingle?
I'm saying like, I'll pop back at about 6:30 this evening, and I'll be ready.
Sure. Can you do the jingle? It's that time again, it's what everyone's waiting for. More music.
I'm saying like, I could eat a knob at night. I'm saying like, I'll be ready.
Sure. Can you do the jingle?
I'm saying like, I could eat a knob at night. I'm not on this, am I?
Yeah.
What am I doing here?
Well, just say the word.
Hello?
No.
I'm saying like, I could eat a knob at night.
Sure. It's that time again, it's what everyone's waiting for. Can you do the jingle? No music.
Hang on a minute. I'm saying like,
time again. It's what everyone's waiting for.
I'm saying like I could eat a knob at night. I'll pop back about 6:30 this evening. I'll be ready. I'm saying like I could eat a knob at night. I could eat a knob at night.
Really? How'd you know?